Hello, Murray. Hey, Double. Help me have better macro at League. Bro, I'm like a plat League player. Hello, Ice Cream Man. Hey, Matix. Why are we looking at Elxodgy? Because I told you guys I'm watching every finals, and Plat Chat might have a China segment on Monday, so I might be needed. And so I'd rather get China done for that rather than wait. If that makes sense. But I was gonna watch every region anyway. The problem here is that I was so negative about 8 All Gamers that it's probably unjustifiably put like a negative view in your mind if you watched my VOD review yesterday. I do think it was pretty poor, but like it's weird. It's like if you guys didn't hear me saying this stuff, you would just presume it was fine. You know what I mean? I think like it's like when I watch UFC, if Joe Rogan's like being all positive, then I'm usually like, oh, this guy's good. And if he's negative, I'm like, oh, these guys are shit. But if I didn't hear Joe Rogan saying anything, I'd be like, oh, seems quite fun. It's alright. So don't let my negativity cloud your judgment too much. Enjoy my negativity and take it with a grain of salt. AG better. AG better? I mean, what do I have for lunch? I'm not eating much. I got like a wrap from Prep. I went out and got some film for my camera. I bought a new camera. I'm not very good at photography, but I bought like a point and shoot camera. And so I went and bought some film and then got a wrap next door. Comps, it's the same as everyone else, but it's the Whaler Yoru, which I quite like. No Man's playing Waylay, and he's looking like he's more of a entry bot right now. Hey Crow. So yeah, we'll have to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only play. Oh, it's Haven here too. It's funny that like people. I like Viper comp on Haven, but it's funny how because like, it's funny how conformist Valorant is. It's like, okay, we've not really figured out bind, split, like pro Abyss in this new meta, but Haven, yeah, absolutely have to play the Viper comp. You see the teams running double Judas on this map, I think, are generally performing better for sure. Do us last no one has time to adapt. If people are watching my VOD reviews for that stuff, then I'd be very concerned. Viper comps haven't lost their spark. It's when I say Viper comps, what I mean is like Viper plus Senti, usually. Viper as a double smoke agent is still like as Viper as a pseudo Senti on maps like Split, Bind, Abyss, etc. It means that like in this map pool, it's being played at like 50% plus right now. Like it's a very high pick rate. So what I mean by Viper comps is more the ones where it's like solo duelist, which are out of meta completely. Double duel, it doesn't do amazingly into the double druids, I don't think. Corrode as well. Corrode's the big one, where you see the pseudo Viper. Hey, Frog. Okay, let's just go straight into it. We got a rough start because there's an OT game with a breach. With a breach. So do I just go into a more interesting? Let's go positive. Let's go straight into positivity here. Let's ignore the long boring game where I might be negative. Let's go straight to positive. A 13-4 bind. Let's see. I mean, BLG are completely behind, I feel like, with a lot of their comp choices. There's a reason. Let me have a look here. Because I need to have some opinions about the other teams if I'm doing plat chat for China. I feel like this team is just way behind in terms of comps. Breach, double win shit. They're playing Gecko, fucking Breeze. They're winning. Yeah, this team's lost. This team's lost. Let me write down some notes quickly. Are they even playing like Waylay at all? No Waylay. A little bit of Waylay. Tiny bit of Waylay. Yeah, I mean the duelist picks are fine for them. They're just a bit behind with the other stuff. Oh, they had a sub. Who was the sub? Bud? Did the sub affect the comps they're playing though, realistically? Piank is the sub? For who? For Levius? Blank for Knight. Oh, I mean they would play the same shit anyway. And not to flame, but it's not like Knight was taking over the world. Decent KO though. Who's the IGL for BLG? Neff. Okay. Who's the IGF for XLG? I'm gonna guess Lies. You guys are quick with Neff, but you're slow on XLG. Nobody knows. I mean, I probably should know that. Liquid says Leo. Okay. Okay, so mostly focus attack side. We got a 2-1-1-1. You're always going to be prodding towards showers and then can join for the B. And then we got 4B side. It turns into a 4-1 quite quickly. Recon at the bottom along. Pretty much a waste of a recon in my opinion. I think China as a region might have the worst. It's like Viper. I would play Viper against China forever. We got a guy running through an orb, and now a Prowler that's gonna be not be able. Like, what util do we have left now? Nothing. We literally have a flash now. Our initiator tools is a flash. The smoke wasn't bad. It's the scaling through from attack that's bad. It's inefficient. The inefficiencies in this region are massive. It's so huge. When you have like, you gotta think nowadays you have like, let's circle like some of the scaling tools you have, right? Kind of like you have like these as scaling tools. Right now they don't have, as far as I'm aware, anything left but a flush and a wall. I think you have to be really, I think I've not had to think about it too deeply, but pistols with these comps, you have to be very deliberate and intentional. What is the point? Like this kind of util wastage would have been fine back in the day when you had 2 initiators and you wouldn't get punished as hard, but like now it's like you're contacting. No pick'ems for now. No pick'ems for now.
那把有雷对吧？对，能拖。王浩哲也有雷，就这2个道具全伤害。先抽一枪再说，第2拳带斧可烟。先推过去，有奈夫先给第1拍，直接飞，把了先被打掉，而且龙门飞下来，带斧可烟。先推过去，有奈夫先给第1拍，直接飞。先抽一重防哦。Raga 是听个烟，这分必要继续。手枪局的胜率其实 XLT 还是蛮高的，预示脚步很多，而且 Raga 应该都听到了。
So it did give Raga the ability to take showers at least. Even free shower space. And then we do see defense actually try to Prowler for info, but they Prowler wrong. That's not how you Prowler, by the way. Why is it not going? If he just threw it through the TP, the timing is pretty good. Like it's a decent Prowler, but it needs to go through showers, surely. And then he's dead because he thinks it's clear. Tiny micro mistake cost the round. I could do Santiago predictions. Maybe I need to change this. Maybe I should change this. Can I change it, Mari, to I can't do predictions until I've watched every game. Like, I'll do predictions once I've done all the VOD reviews. Like, people are asking me to do predictions when I've not watched any games from any like. Usually, the thing is that in the past I could do predictions without watching many games because it's kind of obvious to some degree. Whereas, like in this, like I can't predict without watching any games. I've watched some Americas. I've watched now a minor amount of China. Like I know EMEA. Like if I did predictions right now, I'd just be fraudulent. They're going to be fraudulent anyway because the tournament's impossible to predict. But
Raga 还往前走，有预警到，有 TP 这个位置，还要再打。
Heavy short anti-eco is good. No man, shotgun, lamps. Over lamp? Over truck? Oh, over truck with the smoke. Where's the reveal? We should have a reveal. That was late. They got into the shot. It's also a terrible shotgun, I think. If the reveal happens and they're anywhere like far away, you can't win with the shotgun. Oh. Okay. So they just push back side. I like this actually. They tap the spike and then immediately just burst onto the back of the site.
而且第二时间点后被包了，王浩哲只能换一个，不可能全换掉。二楼也是非常好的 timing。
Raga's aim is phenomenal. Watching his aim is so nice.
然后第4局，但是这一分这个所以我觉得对 XLG 来说还是先稳住这个局势，把这个一砖一瓦砌上去。但是这一分这个砖瓦砌得非常的漂亮。是的，而且出手的时机很好。
Does he play with high sense? What's Raga's sense? Raga's sensitivity, Valor. Something feels nice about watching him. Oh, he does. 0.35. He plays with 1.4 cents. What, 0.71? I mean, 1.4 on 400 DPI, it looks like. He's playing 0.35 on 1600. That's kind of crazy, no?
王浩哲是有点没办法了，怎么点后突然就爆了？对，这已经不会给了王浩哲继续操作。
That's quite high, yeah.
有手枪的出门。
I don't think it's super crazy, but it is high. It could be wrong. I just searched it on Google, so it could be wrong, but I knew something was up. You could tell by the way he's shooting. Okay, anti-eco, 2-1-1, fine.
双拉，不走了呀，刘杰。然后 Raga 这个时候得到情报，B2人很多，但是也很谨慎，开暗说找 B 长的人，没有抽到。那第一波其实 B 区的控制都
打了一个主动的前压，
龙门又是没有掩体的状态，车过来，龙门先有一个过，他这个距离的追猎其实杀伤力的，来个优法再接，
直接
还是不前也很懂啊，但是直接把
Okay, BLG with a B stack. Is this because of Yoru Brimo? Is this a read?
真的打快的 BLG 有那么好手吗？他靠着业务神尾不绝先把包点的信息给吃干净。
What? This reveal should not be getting this much value.
业务神尾不绝先把包点的信息给吃干净。表演这个鬼眼
被照到了。
王浩哲能回去，但是有天机光束，而且有点被粘住了。要来吗？没给，想要给烟之后。
Oh, that's quite nice. Smoke for him to come out of. I think I'd prefer if they just did a smoke randomly and just did normal smokes. Actually, I could see what they're doing. They're trying to do hookah smoke. It's kind of awkward strat, honestly. Don't love this strat. Yeah, they've had to cancel. They've used 3 smokes and a Euro ult, and they've got nothing. Didn't feel great. I think in that position, I would have used 1 smoke for the Yoru, see what happened, and then commit smokes after, maybe? Something didn't feel quite nice, though. Why is he peeking? He could easily have just ulted, like, or something. Or just run away. Kind of maybe. It's the kind of shit you expect me to do in ranked. It's too easy, man. Close. I feel like that ult was like clearly not correct though. If you hit someone here, why is he ulting here? That's a bad ult. Surely you just ult like there. Or like at least like put him more central. Like you could just center him and I'd be happy. Who is the best player of XLG? Happy Way and Raga are the best 2 players. Quite easily, I think. Happy Way has better stats technically on Smoker. But I know Raga has also been very good for a long time. No, I'm not showing you my new bed. Is China terrible? China has strategic problems in Valorant. That does not mean that if you think that strategy matters, and like especially this matter as much as what I'm saying, then you're missing the point a little bit. But it is still worrying. I doubt that they will be the worst region at the event. No Man's pretty good. No Man is struggling the most, but he's like a selfless entry. He's not really playing his role. I think No Man's supposed to be like a killjoy player. He's more like he's been forced to play entry.
而且小边这个位置很神秘，两边的位置都有背身。
但是对面过来的脚步声没问题，包也掉了。小边想去捡枪，而且他
有说法的。
看谁先动，已经要了闪光了，321闪爆进，直接过来，白夜波，哇，把自己也崩死，因为对面打了140，天际光束也给了。
而且小边这个位置很神秘，两边的位置都有背身。
但是对面过来的脚
I mean, BLG have used Viper ult and Razor into an eco. And they've got it down to a 4v3, a 3v3, a 2v3. Is this a round that I show up that chat?
那这一波的1换1，对于eco的标记来说是要到了一片区域和位置，而且对面天际光束也给了。
而且小边这个位置很神秘，两边的位置都有背身。
但是对面过来的脚步声没问题，包也掉了。小边想去捡枪，而且他往前走，他还有第二个，他不知道还有第二个，又过来了，Happy Wave 又断一个。标记的运动战有点找不着北了。哎，No Man 刚才上台阶，这波给出下
It's supposed to the judge.
那现在两
I mean,
慢慢缩干 B 包点，稳。 主要有排名属于谁？没抓脸上，先找到一个，而且这是自己的照明。手里面7F 交技能找到了位，两边都明牌了，所以现在 Happy Wave 也不装了，过来先给第一套的一个合装。Happy Wave 的立刻千军，他再一次帮助团队把这个残局给拿回来。而且我觉得这下是其实拒绝被对面起势，就是你再等一等，我还能再把这个优势拉开，你不要起势。
why do you think they have a strategic problem compared to other regions? Is it a lack of strong CSC, which could feed coach analysts other talent? To the qualifying teams have foreign coaches. XRG strategy is better than All Gamers, easily. BLG, and they're better than BLG easily. In terms of like, BLG are behind compositionally massively. All Gamers are fine compositionally, but behind massively when strategy. And then XRG have a coach from, like a Russian coach, who has played Valorant for a while, right? Like, I do think Hoya's a good coach, but it's not like it's not like China's filled with like amazing coaches, if that makes sense. So it's like the coaches that they do have that look like people that I recognize to be decent are the ones who are actually elevating stuff a little bit. Compositionally, like Asian comps. BLG generally play double initiator in a meta that's bad. Yes, I covered AG yesterday. China basically has bad macro strategies compared to other regions. Yeah. Yeah. It might even be described more fundamentally as strategic fundamentals. I don't even know if it's necessarily macro, because most teams kind of in this are kind of not amazing macro-wise. But it's like strategic fundamentals. Like All Gamers yesterday, like I said before, their Euro usage was way behind. It was the kind of stuff I was helping with PaperX last year. The Astra Star theory is way behind. Their general subs and rotations are way behind. They play, you can draw a line on the map and they play behind it all the time. Like, these are just strategic fundamentals. I wouldn't even go to macro, really. It's just fundamentals. I think that's probably what I need to start thinking about more. It's like the way that I see myself when I'm helping these teams is quite often, it's not even that deep macro. It's just strategic fundamentals, to be honest. It's not this meta is not about which teams have good macro. There are very few teams have macro that's like really fun to watch. It's mostly just strategic fundamentals with good fighting. And so the question really is who has good strategic fundamentals? And that is like, you know, most of the teams at Santiago.
冷静的判断，而且这一分前面标记的一扣设计非常的妙，就作为一个存钱分，真的已经是相当的漂亮了。他们几乎在每一个可以去压出的缝隙里面都进行了穿插。来吧，看。 王浩哲的局势在浴室，而且是在浴室比较保守的位置。第一时间，
感觉两个位置都想第二次再去架。
进攻烟直接给了快骑，浴室这边是有尾巴的。来看一下 Norman
要出烟的话，可能会有点危险。
不太会出这个烟太。
I like when they get stuck, they do get active. Like this is the kind of stuff where it's like they've obviously Coach Hoya has actually talked to them about, you know, when they get delayed here, they've got options to go forward and stuff. They don't get stuck. Like they are quite decisive with their decision making, which is the sign of decent coaching, right? It's like they've been in VOD reviews saying, hey, like when this happens, could we try doing this?
叶林反推，注意绕后，卢塞亚绕到了，但正面好像倒得更快，来不及了，没有机会了。XLG 又一次把宝典前端深深的给啃下来，但是绕后来了，2打3，包括在一个眼皮子底下，时间还是够的。
Oh, that was unlucky from Bianc.
11滴血，他被混到了，小边补又被处理掉，那现在又只剩下如下泡在魁父里面，他先找到是魁蛇，他找到这个魁父主人才有机会，很难玩，说实话。 卢塞得找一个能够逐个拆解的机会，但对面选择挪到点后，对面甚至可能会抖一个 B 包，因为知道你明白他 A，
是可以转 B 点再去打了。
极致的稳妥，极致的冷。
Is this something that's developed over the years, or this is already a case when EDG won champs? EDG weren't playing good macro. They had some decent strategic fundamentals in the sense that they are very good at re-clearing stuff on defense. But largely their win was Kong popping the fuck off.
但是现在这个脚步放出来之后 ，XLG 要回头了，脚下还有个回头了，等你失利的苦主，这个冰冰压在火上。
But that's the thing, is like I keep trying to bring it back. I'm always gonna have this microscope always on the strategy, because that's what I find interesting. I'm never gonna sit here and watch the game and say, hey, look, Raga, let's like watch Raga the whole game, because you can't, like, you're not able to physically because we have no replays. But at the same time, it's like I'm not watching the game from that perspective. Like, I'm not breaking down the ways they're fighting and shooting their gun. Like, to me, the interesting side is the strategy side. It's just that side doesn't always mean you win, right? It's like poker. It's like in gambling or poker, like I guess poker, you're looking at just like plus EV, right? Can you get above 50% in all your plays? Like, if you can just get your margin up to, like, you know, 2 to 3% better than everyone else, that's like pretty good, right? Like, that's all you need to do. So I'm just looking for those edges. That sounded wrong. Ideally in Valorant, because Valorant's not very optimized, you're looking for like bigger edges than 3% though. Like, I think that you can get a lot higher. And these teams are basically not succeeding in finding some of the edges. I think XOG are definitely much better. Like, XOG are the best Chinese team I've watched so far when it comes to strategic edges, I guess. It's not gambling theory. It's just basic what's it called? Basic game theory, I guess. I would presume. Is it game theory? I don't know. I think game theory presumes there's an opponent, though. It's just basic poker. It's just basic logic, I guess, to some degree. Hey, Jenya. Game theory is something like the Prisoner's Dilemma. I know the Prisoner's Dilemma is part of game theory, but... Hello, Coruscant.
过来了，这样的风格，你已经太多次能看到他在对面枪不好的时候，他把狙直接端着过来了。有一个
搜是要搜的，这个
到了，
在直架
钓鱼拿到一些分，拿到了。
What has happened? No man shouldn't be dashing in anti-eco. But he's got refract, so it's fine. Just silly. Nice shots from Neff. Wait, it's a TP1, TP1, TP2,
踢过来也知道了。
and then to B. It's actually quite smart.
再走，还可以。再说现在跑酷，这是跑酷游戏。
主要这张地图的魅力就在于这里又来了。
但是现在 Norman 这位置也太神秘，场
影子啊，卢队协同反对面压根就没有给自己好好去对枪的机会，
和上张地枪。对，Marco 不想让这个上半场完全的丢失掉。
如果再丢2分，我觉得就玩不了了。
是，如果他就是这个时候了，因为从教练的视角里面能调过来，能有一个4分及，我也不说4分吧，3到4分吧。对，那其实在这个下半场，不是他打得到人。其实
What drink do they have?
反刷，对吧？定点反击这一点没有发挥出来，什么怪东西？直接夜路。
You're out long again. I mean, I didn't like it last time, and now they're faking it. But the strat was so bad last time that I wonder how much they actually bite on the fake. I mean, instant knife, instant reveal. It's inefficient, but it gets the job done. Should be rotating. I want to see them push out B. Okay, we get 1 push out and 1 TP. It's quite nice. This is probably BLG's best round, unsurprisingly, because they probably win it. Yeah, pretty easy. XLG's Euro ult shot's not very good though. Interesting position here from YZ. Kind of cool. I like that. I like that. You get ahead of the smokes and you get to kill the guy who keeps trying to dash up. Kind of nice.
而且有天机光束的霸的这个位置，只要活着就是一个巨大的威胁。
不敢拍包啊，这个包怎么敢拍啊？
来了，对面
You know that hits. I bet it looked good. The one on the left looked quite good. The one on the right looked a bit like I don't know. It looked a bit like the kind of drink you drink after yoga. The one on the left looked like the kind of drink that every 14-year-old from China who's grinding Valorant drinks. Double TP, they should just immediately be TPing. Double TP, just TP. At worst, you got 1 person. They wasted the brim ult. Didn't do anything with it at all. They just maintain position. Rewrap showers because they know they've lost it. It's a bit risky. They should just TP'd. It's kind of boring to watch after knowing they should be TPing. I like the angle from YZ though. Heavy showers. They're gonna get ready to crunch. I mean, their Viper Wall doesn't even go. That's because they've had to do it from here, I guess. The showers crunch is a solo fade. And then raise baits. Huh? Very strange. Very strange. That's not an angle. There's a reason why everyone on this angle always plays like an off angle here and doesn't stand in the doorway. That's KO flash. Kind of unlucky. I like that idea from BOG. But once again, it's Razor and Viper ult up at the same time. I think when you got this Viper ult, you can let the kills come to you a little bit more. Like, so like you got this. If they go here, you just ult through TP. If they come A, you just ult them. Like, I think sometimes just being... I'd rather be reactive, I think, in this situation. We have ult down. Hello, Optic.
奈夫摸得非常外面，对面的脚步声他现在应该还没听到。但是这个家要听到了，要听到了，
抓到一个拿枪了。
谁有想到这一点
So you watch the Vitality game tonight? No.
他也没想到 Raga 已经到了这里。
但是包点还有人哦。
Are you feeling better? When did I feel bad?
这一刻他是不是又要做英雄了？
走了。
啊，直接不给他这个机会。
判官这个距离。
从头到尾没漏过，从头到尾没漏过。
如下来了两个，
这很感觉已经是盛世了。
30秒。
Ah, you're sick before kickoff? Yeah. I had food poisoning. And I did have a bit of a cough. Yeah, I feel better than that.
过年习俗是什么？
派利是。
哎，其实也是我们过
对吧？
品种的选择，观众朋友们都非常多啊。是
来，如果有问题，对，其实
去自化。没，B 大这边奈夫又想搞那一套，奈夫又想搞那个先锋 fake。
这
一个人单走给压力，他爱干，他靠自己
可能是真打。
一包的回放
啊，我是6大概率只能放点，如果对面一波提币的话，来了，按手开路呢，这直接是带4把鬼
跑位嘛，支援队友。
这边卢西亚是个正义进攻出的门，防守方4把鬼魅。
It's weird to stack A, but then to stack towards showers. Usually when you see a stack on this map, it's because you're going to use the TPs or to push. It's like you would expect the stack to be more towards this part of the map so that you could TP fast. Very strange idea. Like, if you're gonna have this TP, then at least someone here needs to be like, I'd want these two to be ready to TP at least. Keep the 2 showers, and then this TP comes in late. Because if you do double TP here, and you keep 2 showers, then they might just go back showers too. Like, I think this is way better, having these 2 get ready to TP.
对面是不是假的？对面可能是真打。这样的话，我是6大概率只能放点，如果对面一波提币的话，来按手开路，直接放。那 B 包的回放情况好，这个鬼眼其实没什么太大的帮助，因为没有人能够去利用这个鬼眼。眼也没有了。对，然后
This is the winning condition. They're gonna push elbow, but Leo should be able to contain.
elbow 应该会打一波。
不太能想到，我觉得 Leo 这位置很难。
Leo 这位置有点
难。Happy 尾现在意识到了，果然还是被顶住之后 Happy 尾顶掉一个，但是 L 波不来了。是的，家里面出去人也被点掉，进攻方2楼已经站住，留下一个不错枪位。
They're pushing at backside before any flank, but I guess you can't wait. If you wait too long back here, it's going to be obvious that you're flanking. So I get it sometimes to be a little bit undisciplined on purpose. Oh my god.
犹如神助，而现在这个局面仍然非常的危急，他还要靠正义去混，但是没有子弹了。有人拉出来了 ，Raga 拉了一个盾，是吧？
这个兵看到这一点，
那就直接短兵相接吧，
或者他们什么时候能试探到
This is one of those moments, the Sliggy moment, where it's like, I don't understand why you want the TP on your side of the map. Like, we have a Viper wall, we have Brim, we have Fade. You're gonna get a shot off. I know we're playing very passive A, but this guy's still in a little bit of trouble if he gets run over. Do you think Harbor's good in VCT? Yes. I think the new Harbor's very good, yeah. I don't know if I'd play him over Astra, but I would play him over Brimstone for sure.
开枪，这个锋刺跟舒伟什么时候亮枪，防守方就会懂。
也是这么给的。那这样其实包点后。
What region do you think is the best? The region, it depends what you mean by best. Most likely to win a trophy is APAC right now, I think. And then Americas, then EMEA, then China.
点是拿到这些枪械，能不能在包点后要到人？
已经亮枪了，已经明牌了，我就是抢起。
爆能器放下是远远不够的，
舌吻，这个爆能器顶着舌吻的伤害硬下了小兵，
黑屋先站下来，
活了下来。
黑屋是一道关卡，因为黑屋锋刺的一个爆发能力非常强。
Raga 在绕，他绕了个最大的，而且他好像是静音在绕，
好多人在看后面。
对。
正面的队友得先动，不然 Raga 这边一定被打掉。
See, like, this needs to start making more moves before... Oh, Red Molly. Whoa. A little bit too late, but... Should be still fine. Should be able to get full win time. Yeah, okay. At least the anti-eco here was very intentional. Like I was saying that yesterday, all gamers, a lot of their subs were not intentional. At least there's intentionality on this for XLG. They're playing a very intentional anti-eco, right? The idea being that the Waylay's this player. I don't think they would. They could showers crunch if they wanted to, but I don't think they will. Waylay is this player because they can dive out. Viper's just playing very long range because you don't want to play close against the eco. You got like a heavy B setup. I would like to see this over here, but they're just accepting it's retake A against the eco, which should be okay. And if they do buy stingers and shit, then it's also okay. We just avoid lamps in the retake, and we should be fine. So, I'm not saying it's the best sub of all time, but it's intentional, right? Like, there's a reason why they're doing the things they're doing. Whereas with all gamers, I feel like the reasons for doing what they were doing weren't necessarily good enough. What's my opinion on New Gecko? I think that it makes it slightly more viable on maps it was already good on. I don't think that it's that big a patch. Unless for whatever reason, you're able to throw like I don't think you could default and then throw it again like easily, like on most maps. Like you can't, like it's not very good as a default tool is the thing. I can't think of many instances. I went through the maps, I couldn't think of many instances where you would want to use it. Bind, it's possible, and I think Icebox is possible. Every other map I wouldn't want to use it as a default tool. So then the value then would be, well, maybe it's not good at defaulting, but what about you exec with it and then you post plant with it or something? 20 seconds seems maybe too long, but possible. But yeah, even then I'm like not sure. Bind belongs seems okay. I think showers is one of those things where it's like, it just, do you really want to throw something into showers and have to go get it in showers? Like that's my take on showers. It's like you're basically saying to your opponent, like, we're not gonna do anything for 20 seconds. Well, I guess you can have it then for post instead of exec, but yeah, I think it's bind or icebox. It becomes more viable. Maps where it was really strong. I don't think it really does much. I think ultimately the opportunity cost in the current map is probably too strong. It will be interesting to see how the nerfs for stage 1 happen. I would presume that Waylay's getting a nerf. Even if Waylay gets nerfed, I don't think Gecko replaces anything though. On most maps. Like the concept is interesting though. Like the concept to me is really interesting of that kind of when Teo came out, I said that concept was interesting of like it was kind of clear that you could like maybe try and default with it and then use it later on. And I like that idea of like layered default cycling. But on attack side, I just don't think you can do it. I just don't think you can do it. If there was like a bit of a range on it, like if it was like you didn't have to pick it up stood next to it, and instead you could pick it up from like 5 meters away at like a radius, maybe there would be like more opportunities, maybe. It might make it a little bit too broken if all of its kit can do that. I don't know.
已经赚到了，换了2人，他们的因为那些感觉，你说即使右边给烟嘛，但也不能是每张地图都很好的效果，对吧？
It's like the double prong push thing. This is kind of like what I was talking about BBL, where it's like, but they do this on attack. So like we're seeing heavy aggression, and then the attack is gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? They're pushing short. Freak out, freak out, freak out. Oh wait, suddenly there's fucking people pushing here too. So even though they're dead, there's like still a very good chance that XLG win the round if Raga stays alive. He does not.
人在脸上有点意外。
对，但办的这个位置没有猜到。
巴德打一个，开始拖了，升自己了。临时，来吧，看一下，依然是能起身这一分 ，Raga 直接抬出民居来了。Raga 这一分要加浴室。但是 Raga 也被 Nef 的技巧型投掷所逮到，
而且现在又要回到那个老生常谈的问题，对于 XLG 来说，他们终结比赛的能力，
对，你会浪费多少机会？
这一次他们比分是足够大的。 没有太多心理负担的情况下，该如何去终结这个比赛
Kind of sees nothing.
代价有点大，这位
Oh, deep showers. XLG are in a really good spot.
靠更多的用枪位啊，包括补枪去解决问题。
Flank coming in.
然后直接放包了，你直接给。
I mean, XLG should win this round.
角度有人非常慢，56是带大的，他非常非常慢，
他在绕后。 而且我觉得他不打算放大去打这一分了，应该。
而且巴的在看他，那正面你可以。
That spit is way too early. Doesn't do anything.
是，那所有的位置都要靠对枪的角度来解决，那这样就会有一些不确定性的。
I think China just has this kind of ranked habit of like doing things through smokes. Like they just throw util through smokes constantly. It's like, what's the point of that spit? That was a bit bad by Leo. It's a bit lazy.
而且正面还能再手 ，Raga 太平被抓，但留一手打掉了他。
那这样的话 ，XLG 应该是能顺利的完成爆动器的拆除吗？
这个时间够吗？
非常够，足够。
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So XLG, yeah, they're continuing the narrative really that they looked better than the other Chinese teams, but still, it's not like mind blowing, you know. The gecko breeze is kind of funny. I'm gonna skip Abyss for now still. I might end up skipping it completely, but I kind of want to watch Breeze because there's a gecko. There's some nice value if you do the 100 Thieves Showers Trap with Gecko Molly. Gives you pickup option to use it in post plant after the trap. Ah, you mean like You mean like it? I think if you do like a fast strat where you like molly here, if you like, is it like a strat where you have like 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, and you like reveal, and then throw molly if something like that, and then crunch. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think. As a tool to do like 1, 2, 3 default stages where like you molly, you like molly for like default exec post stuff, like I think it's not going to be very good. I think it becomes ironically an agent that you play fast with, probably. Like it's the mosh pit being used for as an exec tool. And then being picked up for post plants. It's just whether you can pick up molly. I think what Zeke said about this molly being nerfed as well is pretty big. Like you could just do this molly on fast strats and then pick it up. Like ironic, like it's a kind of agent where like if you just came to stage 1 playing like a weird like this combo and just had loads of gimmicks. Like, it would probably be pretty strong, but it's more for like an underdog team.
前往的是微风岛屿。那我
Can you explain how Breeze is usually played? I mean, this version of the map is still being figured out by teams. And it's not played amazingly right now. So I'd prefer not to speak about, like, it. And I'm still figuring it out, truthfully. It's not like I know the full theory on it. But yeah. The way I see it mostly is like, I think most teams would be better off if they end up just sending it into sites a bit more than what they're doing. Right now we're seeing a wide selection of defaults and XX from most teams. I'll be right back 1 second. I think that with, I think this space is pretty important for defense if you can get it. And I think that this space is important to pressure on defense if you can get it. I think on defense, if you can get either of these spaces, you're in a decent position. Yeah. This one may be less so because you might get stuck, but like I'm enjoying teams who put enough pressure here, and then if the team goes this way, they should just run out. Why do teams put one player on attack on B main while the others just full in A? Many times they look dumb being the last person alive on this map. You mean like 1 here, 4 here? You're just basically asking why do teams do 1-4s. The reason you do a 1-4 is because this side of the map, if this side of the map ever gets delayed properly, the 1 has complete flank control so that they can come back safely towards the other side of the map. And also this player can also find opportunities to find space off of the pressure the 4 creates. So it's two things. The first thing is that it protects the flank. What's 3 things? The second thing is it creates a cancel option because it's unsafe if you're 5 players to run back this way without it being with no information. And the third thing is that it's lurk opportunity. The thing that you're probably looking at that makes it look bad is that the 4 probably overcommits slightly too hard and doesn't allow this player to do anything. But most of the time, this 1 being with the 4 and making it a 5 probably isn't going to change the outcome. What are the main differences between flank versus lurk here? I mean, the difference is if you're watching the flank. If you're watching the flank, you're just staying back. Right? You're just staying back. A lurker is someone who goes up, listens for stuff. Oh, your attack here is called. Oh boy, it says there's 4 people here right now. This 1 player knows that the 1 other player has got to be within this space somewhere, and can make a educated guess as to how they want to approach taking the space that is probably free of a player. Is Gecko ready for a trap in middle? Quite like this. So they had a star. They have a star condition bottom mid, and so they use it to fully fight for this space. Kind of interesting. Now we see YZ solo peeking into this. It would be much better with the fact that Gecko has full control here. Why does YZ need to come up solo? Why don't they just take interesting angles, 2 of them? Unexpected angles on this line. This is very stupid from YZ. But This is the thing, like, if you can get players with this level of aim to play the game more consistently than rely on literally hitting shots like that and not being traded at all, this guy mechanically has, this guy can win a trophy. This guy is literally able to win a trophy with these mechanics. He won't, because he makes decisions like that, but he could. It's just the typical, like, you know, hey, I won my hand with the worst hand. It's like, yeah, but bro, that doesn't mean you played it well. Like,
主要是 Nef 这把重甲害灵，其实是我容错率轻甲害灵容错率非常的高。
甲也挺贵的，说实话。
I'm a bit curious how they play this defense with this comp, because it's not. Last round they had Astra, Viper, Neon, Gecko, Sova. They don't have the best anchor agents possible. I'd imagine Viper just plays here a lot, and they've got Astra here a lot, and the other three are more spread. It looks like they like Sova here, maybe for the drones through either side. I don't know how I feel. I've not made a decision yet as to how I feel about that. Sova's generally are good here for recons, but their drones aren't as effective up here. And then their drones become better here, but recons for cross-map become a bit less effective. I haven't thought fully how I'd want info cycles with the server. It's probably, being this player is probably still best. And drones from middle are probably fine. The fact there's no good recon from window to be makes window force less strong. There's no recon from here at all to be. I end up like fucking coming down here and like having to throw one when I'm playing ranked, but I'm just a noob who doesn't actually know lineups. How important are defense mid pushes? Really important. It's really important to try and put pressure on. To consistently have someone here is really strong. I wouldn't say you want to be pushing like down here very often, unless it's literally because you know they're like 4A. Feels like confirmation bias makes it really hard to get these points across sometimes. I think that's why it's honestly very helpful being a coach that players have any kind of semblance of respect for. Because, like, if you say what I said to most players, well, a lot of players would just be like, well, I got the fucking kill. Whereas, like, you know, over time, Alpha's gonna be like, oh yeah, you kind of do know what you're talking about, so I'll do my best, coach.
主要看大江分了，甲5人非常大的，对，所以标记上来先得个2分，说实话是有一个底子，而且这一分在近距离还是有相当的作战能力。霸的补了一把雄鹿，配合上 Nef 刚才上一把的害灵。
Yeah, mostly been watching defense. Let's watch some attack. A main default to get orb is fine, but now they're 3A with no control on middle. I think you can do this A main default, i.e. orb grab, whilst also taking control, but maybe it's because they're anti-bonus. They don't want to fuck around too much. I hope we don't see this too much, especially if defense isn't fighting for it. Like, you can see the stars defense are using are very passive. They have no aggressive stars at all, which means they're just going to be giving up A main most of the time. So we could probably get this orb. We could probably put a TP somewhere even aggressive, and then do our mid default if we want to do a default. Just waiting for pushes because the other team is low by. Clearing the middle. Grouping up A. It's a little bit risky. Paranoia? What does that paranoia do? I guess paranoia gets all of this. But nothing more.
卢西亚有点想摊位置，
小编也想再来。
散家剑，但回防的技能也不错，嗨宝舌吻其实丢得很痛，很多人都残了好像。
但现在才有一个去安置爆
Nice from BLG.
时间还是很充裕的。
位置要的非常。
Like, look at the space that attack has right now. This is all they have. They have nothing. It can be really hard for gifted people in any discipline to learn that sometimes you gotta be that sometimes what got you here won't get you there. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But I think it was easy with me with some players because it's like, you know, with Alpha it's pretty easy because I just keep memeing on him that like, well, like, how do I say this? Turkish teams weren't very good, truthfully, and so like I'd just be like, yeah, that maybe how you did it in Turkey Alpha, but you're not in Turkey anymore, kind of thing. For players like Leo and Kron, obviously, it's a bit harder to use that kind of excuse because, you know, both played a good level of Valorant, and Kron obviously had won trophies. I mean, it's true. The Turkish, I can't get clipped by the Turkish people. Surely it's better. Like, surely, this is the thing about Valorant, right? And about, even like, I think about it a lot for broadcast. It's like, if I say something, if I say something's bad, I'm giving you the opportunity that when you are good, that you actually prove you're good. Like, right now, Turkish Valorant is looking pretty good, especially with like BBL, and then Ulf should be pretty good. So like, if I had always just said Turkish Valorant is always amazing and the teams are great, and then they did something like they did with BBL now, then it doesn't make as much impact. Whereas if we have this narrative that like the Turkish teams are struggling, and then BBL come out firing, then we've set expectations at a certain place and they've exceeded them. It's like, oh my god, cool, like we get to talk about them positively now. Well, you're a true hero when you put it like that. But it's true, right? I think if we just say teams are good all the time and then a team does well, then you've got nowhere to move up to. If you're always like, they're good, and then a team does good, you can't just be like, oh, they're really good. It's like, you've always been saying they're doing good. Like, it's better to set expectations where they should be, and then you get to actually tell the story properly. Should XRG push for backside here? Probably, I guess. It's kind of difficult though, because they're kind of pinned in. Could they do anything right here? I mean, they are kind of smoking themselves off and shit. They don't really have the option to, with the way they've used their smokes. I think they're just trying to cheese through an anti-eco round, really. I did go to university before I started coaching, yes.
Raga 过来抓着一个烟下落的弹命，直接把人给打掉了。
而且我觉得对 BLG 来说，得去拿一拿对面的进攻，
下2把枪，
确实已经是赚到。
You sound literate.
BLG 的一个相持，在跟 BLG 全体去 all in 关键的分数。
其实思路也蛮明显的了，就这边是回车主扛啊，对，是一个比较常规的一个防守站位和落位。
Thanks. Thank you.
他想他要不要起局，但应该是没有钱买甲，换了标记，换了一些站位，让你变得难以预计。
Okay, mid default now. So they've now completely left A main control. Not even got any eyes on it at all. This is a free orb every round, the way that BLG are playing. I'd take this orb probably. I prefer this orb than the orb they do here, so respect. But there's no... They're just going through elbow. They're not putting any pressure on the angles at all from middle. This isn't a very good default. They are just doing a B-split though. I feel like you need to go up this way though to like... Tiny little choke point with a Viper wall on it. Like, this is a bit shit. And Neon's got this angle so they could play 3. Probably going to see this guy come up through here, this guy this way. I think BLG are in a much better position this round. Good drone. Very good drone. I think even just for that drone, having this over here is probably pretty decent. Round is over. Round should be over the way that BLG are positioned.
A 大口它还会有一个星体可以去断你的速度来吸，所以怎么看下来，第一波的 rush XLG 都是没有办法去形成的。而且也很有意思 ，Noman 其实是在自己的瞬移里面被炸着了，其实并不是一个100%命中的一个说法。
是。
来吧，看一下接下来 BLG 3-1的领先 ，XLG 依然有钱，得益于刚才的宝枪以及是进攻方的原因。但这一分如果5个人全掉，下一分是肯定起不了。而王浩哲的明车持续的持有小编。 在这张图开头就是一个6个击杀。
感觉 Raga 可以开大招了，对，让我是 Leo 去把这个大招开出来。
看人没看到，金字塔是空如也，
跑得很快。
看到远处了，狂野之路还是给到了桥附近，但是并没有命中。
可以压。
Yeah, they never have a lurker to threaten late anything, and they always just end up being in this box. I don't know how strong this is. Also, they got to play against an Astra ult now, who can just Astra ult across. Like, here or there. They're kind of fucked if they play passive, right? No recon? Just a dry ult? No, like... If you're gonna start ulting, surely you want people like up close, so your ult's actually you're actually ulting like it actually CCs them in some way. I think CC is not the right word, but it's like it's like you're using the fact that you're pushing them out of positions, right, to get easy frags. Imagine if I just let Death Worm get on Breeze. I think it's like walls on middle are pretty decent because you want a way to be able to fight from middle, and then rotating is pretty good with them. Specifically this one, I mean, I think that there's probably better ones than this, but generally the idea of using the middle I think is pretty decent. Like you get to orb yourself off and you get a wall somewhere else. I don't like when you see people do orb and then like wall. Like I don't like this wall, and then you're using both util on the same site for the same almost use.
这分对面没有蟒侠，所以轻甲倒是没有伏笔，但是进攻方快速的把 A 厅吃了下来。防守方要到了中路的角度，哦，看到了，哇，这出门啥也没干，4滴血。这分的一个站位部署上面，其实 BLG 还是想去给你 A 通施压。
Passive. I don't think XOG have the best ideas on this map.
XOG 要过来。 你大概率是要
一个看 A 大，一个看拐角，只能这样了。
来了，正面在勾，奈夫先勾一波，打就撤。 因为主要也被换到了一些血量嘛 ，Raga 这边已经残掉了。
Where's the ult?
还是要去，
换个人来吧。
Wait, do they know?
但是这个出烟，哇！
第二时间出有点伤啊。
里外里不好预计了呀。
我本来一个人都没看到，再一回来3。
Yeah, they knew.
那是没办法的，叫做 timing 啊。
It's funny. How much of XLG played this map? Because they knew they were about to ult there. They'd only played it once before. It's kind of nice to see that the anti-stratting is like they kind of know some of this stuff. I think if XLG just used the lurk, it would have saved them so many steps. Do you mean like the wall that like lets you lurk up to here?
清除干净，王浩这是一个残血区，所以选择去绕后了。
大绕，那这个大绕正面又是一个鬼
踢到高墙，
哇，已经把后路截断了。
我留一手，这2个 TP 有点近，
也不太好。
这分在夜路啊，你就会发现分明的去施压，让你感到一些强，
很难玩，就没有这个霓虹的话。
CB might be correct about the anti-strat thing, I guess. Who's CB? And what anti-strat thing?
你这个双先锋单决斗，你如果这个决斗不在，唯一带位移的人都不在，你只能指望你的皮弹加丢这些东西能够去给对面造成特别大的阻碍了。
但是怎么说 ，BLG 也已经拿下了，出现一个你，那至少 BLG 现在是靠着自己一些灵动。
I don't really like. I don't want to talk about anti-stratting because like I don't think these teams, frankly, are like at a point in which like the anti-strats matter. But like in terms of like deciding their strategy and macro, when it comes to understanding where they're going to use their ults, though, like knowing some of the micro stuff that's happening, I think that you can see that, you know, you could see in that round they knew the Omen ult was about to happen, and like I don't think I don't think in general it's worth exploring anti-strat as a theme, but I'm trying to give a positive.
带着盖可去，
来吧，两边现在还在一个相持的阶段，没有什么分差。
CB, I believe, said it would be easier to play international opponents because of the lack of anti-strat. I mean, if they play anything like all gamers, they're in for a world of pain when it comes to anti-strat. I think what they're trying to say is, in our own region, everyone knows how we play. When we go international, people don't know how we play, which I think is fair. But everyone has that same advantage. And then the other thing is that some of the Chinese teams I've seen so far are the most anti-stratable teams at the event. Top 5 players in China. The thing is, I don't know China well enough, but like just on this server alone, like I think that these 3 are probably the standouts to me. On All Gamers, it was Shrimp and Fangir. On EDG, who's playing well on EDG? It's like that Flash player. Splash is good. Splash is very good, yeah. Who's the player playing really well on EDG right now? I have to go actually check. Chichu. Chichu's good, but I don't think he's the player who's playing amazingly. Oh, he is playing good. Someone had put in their list, oh, he is playing good. Wait, okay, I've mistook it. I've mistook it for sure. I don't know this player. I know A. Fukashu. Berlin's got a high rating, but the worst ACS I've ever seen. Very strange. I wouldn't. I'm confused by how spring, life. Like these two are fucking surprises here. Spring and life. Spring was literally the reason why Wolves did so well at Toronto, and then this guy is like insane. How's this guy being so bad? This guy to me was like the next like thing. What's going on here? Oh, Spring went duelist. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's yeah, that's rough.
而且这分其实是有一些枪械的留存嘛，是的，保了3把，对，所以是有一些去翻分的机会的。
Oh, some matches haven't been rated. Okay.
我觉得大概率
Okie dokie.
因为防守方这是一场耐力战啊，你真的不能经济崩掉。
我记得对于 Nef 来说好像是清空钱包好像，然后小边是起了个裸的追猎，因为到这个机会，对，
Be hit.
快速的击打到地表面，集结飞机一飞，假人一
Mr. Gecko, what you got for us?
而且这个烟被闪，巴的找到了人，巴的还能再接一个，哦，巴的连接2人，如下也有反馈。
Watching Bird is funny.
给要进了，蛇吻，而且这个烟被闪，
Like you can tell, like mechanically, he's not the best player.
哦，巴的连接2人，如下也有反馈。这个双门神起到了效果，巴的这个瞄准真的太吓人了。
But he does get there. 4 teams you have making it out of Swiss stage. These are the 4 teams that are making it out of Swiss stage. I see those 4 that I wrote there. I can't give predictions yet. I can't give predictions yet. The tournament's too hard to predict. Like usually with tournaments, it's easy enough to predict that like I feel comfortable not even watching every game. But this tournament's such a fucking mind-numbingly hard tournament to predict. I want to actually give it the due diligence of watching the games before I open my mouth. At least let me be wrong with let me be informed and be wrong. Don't let me be a fucking ignorant idiot and be wrong.
而且这份标记又做了一个变化，突然4个人来到中区，打算去吃中路的人 ，Happy 以为没漏，远点的队友把飞机4个人来到中区。
Look at these stars, man. Look at the greed on these Astra players these days. The fucking greed. Okay, yeah. XLG's mid default is not the best. Okay. We're info cycling bottom middle. Okay.
给了烟让 Happy 为脱困，这个黑仗的唯一目的就是让 Happy 为离开中路。但是现在我没有看到有一片区域或者
Drone through A main. Wait, where is his drone?
远点的队友把飞机打了，要来丢丢。
Why is he droning?
而且这份标记又做了一个变化，突然4个人来到中区，打算去吃中路的人 ，Happy
What's the 1 minute 25 drone for?
远点的队友把飞机打了，要来丢丢，会暴露 Happy 的位置，要动手吗？
不太好抓吧这个位置。
They smoked on top of him. they have this orb that's being used quite poorly, and then they throw a smoke on top of him. It's kind of funny just watching the inefficiencies of stuff. Now let's walk 3 middle. A split. When we know that they have complete priority over middle. Okay, but a noob.
只能打一了。
来说时间其实拖得已经非常
有点纠结。
大概手里还有一颗闪
20秒，黑拉过来找到人，但是 Nef 在远点先打了一个，黑两夹击 ，Happy 回到了 Happy 位，
打掉了2个，而且另一侧王浩哲也在发力，
时间是够的，时间是
王浩哲想要主动的出击，他打了爆气，没打到。
Yeah, it's up. I can't. Oh. I'm glad that Hoi is angry because this is how I feel watching right now. I'm not very impressed with this breeze. It's quite boring. they've upped the tempo. A splits are kind of given that like they've not put any threat on B at all ever. They did one round and they got completely shut down, which means that BLG don't even need to respect B hits anymore, and so they're just playing fucking for a full mid. Like, if you feel like from BLG's perspective, XLG have gone A, and then when they go A, they don't care because they don't take anything. They just stay here. When they went B, they got farmed. So mid was like the only place that they're really like bothered about. Feels like, I don't know. I think it's the problem is Bacon. They're either going heavy elbow and 0 people here, or they're going heavy here and 0 people here. I think it needs to be a balance. I think if you send too many people here, you're stuck. You're stuck. Like, you're essentially completely stuck. I think it needs to be a nice little balance between the two. I hope we don't see Vito picks at Santiago. Unless it's Paper X right now. And G2 had some stuff. Most teams are playing it like a Vice. Well, like how they played Vice. They're playing very bunkered. I want to see some aggressive Vito usage. Okay, Eco. They picked the right side. Oh, nice though. Full disruption on the backline. I think the backline on B is like so much more important than even it used to be, because I think why is that? It always used to be important to disrupt this if you could, but now it feels better because you don't have this. Is it because this bend doesn't exist? It's like there's nowhere they can hide anymore. They're here or they're not here. I don't know. This guy's fucked. I think Vito has a lot of potential, yeah. I'm surprised by the lack of Chamber, though. Because Chamber's like an easier version. Well, an easier Sentinel. There should be teams that pick up Harbor for stage 1, yes. I think for Santiago, NRG are probably the only team that might play around with Harbor. It's very strange. I don't really understand. I don't understand what's going on here. This player needs to be closer to here, and then one of these, just have one player playing B, one player playing here, this player here, and then have a player here. And then you can actually connect off each other a lot more, you know? Instead, YC just gets pure lucky. XOG once again not clearing out middle. just full elbow. Rosy chain theory? No, not so much. I'm not talking about the chain theory. It's more because that's like a rotation. That's like a metaphor for rotations. This is more about just literally having someone fucking cover you. Like, why this player is irrelevant. You might as well be playing 4v5 right now, not doing anything. If the intention is to hold middle to some degree, then we need to actually help hold middle. X actually comment English. Yeah, that makes sense. G2 possibly, but I think Valen having a +30 game as his last Astra game is probably enough for him to be convinced that he's actually just really good at Astra. Power buff isn't for Santiago? Really? I thought it was. Hey, DNX. I appreciate it. The only issue is that you might not like me soon because I'm not being very nice. I'm not being very nice. Do you plan on VOD reviewing Furia? I plan on... Can I get an exclamation mark, please, Mari, if you're there? For people asking me if I'm VOD reviewing a team. Because... it'd be nice if I could just say that, like... I am VOD reviewing every single region of every finals. No, not Preds. Not Preds. People keep... Oh, okay. I guess it kind of does both jobs at once, I guess. I don't know if it's clear. Is it clear enough? Is it clear enough to you guys that I'm going to be watching all those things? It's just a normal exchange of opinions. The future is unpredictable. I agree. I do agree, but I also think I'm right. When they do go B, they just go so fast. There's no conditioning. Let's just go B. Yeah. It doesn't feel like there's like much reasoning for certain strats to be used, if that makes sense. It's just like, ah, fuck it. We haven't got B for a while. Let's try B. BOG love that corner. I don't live in Japan. No. Oh. What do you think of Russia? Russia? I don't know him well enough. What does this say? DNX. Can you translate for me? I don't understand what they're asking people to do with this. Guess what the map is. Yeah, but how does this person guess what the map is? What? Ah, shit. I missed this part. I see. Got ya. Thank you. What is the difference between Brighton and Hove? I mean, they're Brighton. Am I gonna dox myself here? Hove is just to the west of Brighton. Brighton is a bigger part of the area, and Hove is like the slightly nicer, more middle class part of Brighton. Why do people play Gecko? Good question. Can't answer that. Because they're not very smart. Is the question. Is the answer. Any teams you can think of that Gold Sun on a Breeze? No. I think, and when I watch Anders stream, I think he puts it pretty well that like it I don't see, like, to me, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know what perfect breeds theory looks like, but I know when I see intentionality, and I'm yet to see a team that looks properly intentional on the map. Like, I haven't seen a team yet who's like doing things. I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing there. Oh, and this round makes sense because they did this the previous round, or you know, this. Oh, this exec looks cool, and it's a fake off of this, or you know, this default means they've cleared out all of this space in a way that like is really good. Like I don't see intentionality on the map yet. In a way that's like not cheesy anyway. Like honestly, Heretics had some good intentionality with their Sage Chamber, but it was mostly the micro gimmicks, especially on defense. Why don't you listen to English commentary for CC? Because I forget that English commentary exists. I do this. I went to here. I click this, and I click one of these. I guess I should just click this, right? I don't mind listening to the Chinese casters, to be honest. So defense, we got the Viper wall into A main, which kind of cuts off quite a few things. But if I don't see them using it for anything, then it's a pointless wall. 3 middle, a 1B. Fast Euro TP this way. Let's see what recon this guy does. Let's see. He smokes himself, but it's kind of a, isn't it kind of pointless? Oh, he actually sits in it. Okay. Where does his recon land? He's throwing a recon. Don't even know. Don't even know. I think this is a very... Playing Omen A is kind of annoying because you can't do cross-map smokes easy. But then trying to hold B site as an Omen like that seemed pretty difficult. I think I prefer just the other way round with the Viper Orb on B main choke. I think the Viper on B is just better, I think, than this setup on A. As off the map 100%, probably, yeah. I have talked about the Gecko buffs. I don't think they're that big. They're cool on paper and cool in theory, but I don't think practically it does much. Everyone is talking about Martine is crazy on Chinese internet. Oh, really? Oh, I have a question, DNX. What do people think about me on the Chinese internet? I remember when we played BLG once, and Boaster told me that the Chinese fans liked how passionate I was because we won the game like 13-3, but I was very angry the entire time. And he said that apparently the Chinese fans were like, they thought it was like respectful that I was so angry. But I think it was more, yeah, I don't know if respect is the right word, to be honest. It's interesting recon. Kind of cool idea to push through.
而且 A 大的清理也同步进行。对，其实如下不管怎么摸这分，等会儿他还是
PR training kick right in. You guys think that I'm PR trained? You gotta be fucking kidding me. My PR training's called not being a fucking idiot all the time.
倒霉蛋，但留一手这把枪，捡到8发的子弹，还能不能去做到更多的事情？对面只写了4把的，
有点难啊。
所以如果现在到都没做到，另一方面大将分差距无几。
BRG used more lurkers in 2 rounds than XOG's entire attack side. Okay. A main fight again. So this is kind of how Vitality play. They got Paranoia ready for the Jet, and then the Omen can TP up here and watch Link. Solo, kind of semi-supported aggression here too. I don't like this wall very much. The old school B retake wall. I think if you're playing retake B, you're fucked. In our country's video website called Bilibili, it's indeed very interesting to have many of your recordings. Sometimes when you evaluate some teams, your sharp words may lead some people not liking you much. Ooh. Ah. Do my videos get translated? Does that actually happen? My videos get translated? Your sharp words may lead some people not liking you very much. That's so interesting. I hope that's true. I get away with it. I feel like I get away with it. Or maybe this is the first time someone's been honest with me, that because I'm an asshole, like, no one else is telling me I'm an asshole. I think I'm a little bit of an asshole. Man, imagine if I was like the devil in China, because I just keep flaming. Would you argue Astra Viper plus Harbor Secondary Controller would dominate the meta on Breeze? I think Harbor would be good. I don't think it would dominate the meta. In terms of like, I don't think it'd be like super popular. I think it'd be good though. I don't know how I feel about Harbor versus Harbor plus Viper or Harbor plus Astra though. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I think I'd guess Harbor Viper. How long until people stop comparing Harbor to Viper? I mean, they're both pretty similar. Are you submitting your top 15 players for plat chat? I probably should on the weekend. I probably should. The problem is it's going to be fraud. It's going to be fraudulent. Remember, every analyst giving in their top 15 probably hasn't watched all the regions, so it's going to be fraudulent from everyone. Quick question. Why did you go to Zeta? Was it a desire or best option you had? Want you back in EMEA? Okay, so like there's obviously like a lot of good reasons why I went, but reasonably speaking, like they were the only org that gave me the they approached me with the like there's a very specific way I want to work as a coach nowadays, right? I can't do full-time coaching anymore. And Zeta gave me that. It gave me a very nice way of working that I wanted to do, which is the main reason. But then there are also the very nice reasons that are the less PR. The more PR trained answers would be that working with a team from Japan and a team with the history of Zeta, and also just working with a team that has different expectations. Like they're not in. Like, even with PaperX, they were sucking when I joined with them, but, like, ultimately, their expectations are still really high. Zeta's expectations are obviously very different than, like, PaperX's. And also just working in a team that's very different, the culture that's very different, interesting to me. Yeah. there are things that I would do differently if I went back, but like ultimately still enjoying it and still have things to work on with them. It's also funny because I have had teams reach out already asking what my availability is for consoling.
这样的话，其实地图的优势会重新回到 XLG 这一边。无人机看一眼 B 小或者说中路的位置，把子在躲，但 A 通始终是 XLG 很坚决的，我不随便乱动的位置。推黑，找人找到了，非常 XLG 很看一眼。哦，这被因为只有
The problem with EMEA is I don't want to work in EMEA reasonably because I don't want to be on broadcast and be helping a team, really. Like obviously that might be down the road. I would hope that I'm good enough on the broadcast to be invited to come do the global events, and then I might be coaching teams at those global events at a certain point. Hopefully Zeta. But yeah, so I would prefer not to work EMEA when I'm broadcast EMEA. It's not really a conflict of interest in the way that like I don't think it's a huge conflict. It's just it's not like conflict in the way that like I think is immoral or anything. It just makes life a little easier. If anything, like I think the way I operate is usually I'm very much more open and brutal to teams that I have a knowledge of. Like obviously with Fnatic, I'm like probably way more critical than of teams that aren't Fnatic, if that makes sense. You think you could get to work in Masters London? If I don't work Masters London at all, I'll be very upset. I think the backup option will be hopefully Sliggy's invited to stream and maybe I could join him if he so wishes. But I would very much like to do some analyst task for Masters London, yes.
出来，但没有任何的关系。哇，这样的话，其实地图的优势会重新回到 XLG 这一边。无人机看一眼 B 小或者说中路的位置，把子在躲，但 A 通始终是 XLG 很坚决的，我不随便乱动的位置。推黑，找人找到了，非常仔细的搜点。这一分其实还是。
Maybe our conversations they will be uploaded to Bilibili, and I expect both of us to be criticized. You need to be mentally prepared. Yeah, but I never see it. I never see anything. I wonder. I've been very, very critical of the Chinese teams coming into this tournament. I don't understand. Like, I very rarely talk about Chinese teams on stream. So, like, what would they be annoyed by? Because I don't really know. Like, I'm usually watching EMEA. Like, I've been very critical in the past couple of days about all gamers. I think. But, like, I would presume if you're from a region that isn't doing so well that you can't be delusional. I don't know. Like, it's not like China's not been doing very well. They must despise Sliggy. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like at least I'm sat here watching the games. Sliggy's a busy man. He gets through a lot of Valorant. But I came into this with an open mind, and I've left it with a closed mind. Chinese fans aren't happy with their own team's performances. So that to some degree, I feel like I should be praised in China. if I'm speaking truth to power to some degree when it comes to these teams' performances. Okay, let's look back him.
这样的话，其实 Happy 维的站位会被锁慢多的，而且他也没有回复。必点是 Raga 跟 Happy 维来做防守。
Yeah, I was just repeating the same round over and over. I was trying to figure out if there was anything interesting. I couldn't keep up. It's aiming control constantly. And then they just play this like... It's like they play 2 here, 2 here. With this drone, I'd like to see... I mean, they got a judge here. Kind of cool if they just repushed, but... What's the rotation like? Straight server here, he's gonna watch here. TP up for him to watch here. I'd love to see... It would have been nice if, like, the reaction here should probably be these 2 pushing, but he's got a judge here, so he can't. It's a bit strange. China both CS2 and Valorant are a bit mid. It's not strange. It's not that strange. Also, China's been... I guess it's not China. I thought... No, it's not China. China's become popular in CS though. Becoming more popular. They're just not an FPS like region at the moment. Overwatch, I think they were good though, weren't they? Were they decent at Overwatch? Yeah, that's a good question. How is the EDG champs win perceived over there? I don't know how is it perceived in the West though. How is it perceived in the West? Because I think my perception of the win was that like it was EDG were always a team that could like were bound to go deep into an event at some point. But generally I would say that it was like a one-off. Yeah, a fluke. I wouldn't say fluke, I'd say one-off. Because like I think fluke implies, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like maybe fluke is the word, but any tournament requires some kind of hot streak in that way. And I think EDG were always the kind of team that could go on that hot streak. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was luck at all. It was just they had individuals who could play that good. How about Wolves in Toronto? Yeah, that's true too. How is that perceived too? To me, Wolves in Toronto was just a bit like Zeta at that event, where it's just like... Do you prefer the Viper roll that creates a crossfire between mid-pyramid and the cubby on backside? I don't. You'd have to show me. I don't. I also don't have much preference for micro and ice on ice and on Vipers.
XLG 的 A 大2个人基本上能玩到很多的一个事情，就他能拖你很长时间，消耗你很多的技能，被迫让你在进攻前露出很多。
China's participated in many coaching in all FPS games, but I think our country has too few FPS talents. I think right now China has an abundance of good talent, but I think the issue is your strategy. I think it is your coaching. I think I think it's experience. Experience is probably the biggest thing. I think experience is the biggest thing, because experience also helps with strategy. But it's experience and strategic, not individual, in my opinion. Yeah, like when I look at these players, like again, like these are players you could just slot them into a Western team and they're gonna win a trophy. Like, I'm not saying the rest of them are bad. The rest of them maybe too. But like these players are like just so obviously like,
那已经17个击败。
对，
他在向大家证明啊，他还是有打 VCT
有油
那个能力的。
so obviously good.
但队伍现在的数据或者说分数其实并没有那么的乐观，这一分是个混起，对面的蟒侠很多轻甲，应该全是轻甲或者无甲扮的这个无甲。
The irony here might be that like someone like Happyweight, how good is Happyweight's English? If I was like a fanatic or someone like that, I would be on the phone to Happyweight every off season.
好，把对面赶走了，包有了，这分放包应该不成问题。
对，
但来狂烈之怒，哎呦，硬生生下马
哇，走了。
His English is good.
位置往后折，有可能会吃火，赶紧走。华闪回到了另外一边。
Yeah, I mean, I'd be targeting some of the Chinese players at this point in my scouting. China pays more. Just depends what you value. I think taking bag is fine. Absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Like I don't care. But usually like the way I've always wanted my career to go would be kind of how it is right now, where it's like your early portion of your career is to build your brand, like build your brand and reputation, and then once you're done with that, you can then look at the bag. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird to start with bag first, if that makes sense. How's Zeta's English? Not amazing. Not amazing. You're not sure that's entirely true? I'd have to. I think that there is a cap, I've heard, in Chinese Valorant. They have enough money for sure. They must do. You can't be selling as many digital items as China is without having money. I was told there was a salary cap, yeah. But this is from information from a coach that I do think is probably talking the truth. Do you have a translator on tech pauses? I don't do tech pauses. For the entire region of China, I heard there was a cap. China was seen as more people who couldn't get to tier 1 opportunity in other regions. Yeah, but I think money-wise, like, do you guys know how much the... what I heard was that China carried the digital item sales. So I'm just saying there isn't like money in China is flowing for stuff. If that isn't represented in player salaries, then sure. But like, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. You can't have the stadiums they have, with the fans they have, with the item sales they have. I mean, I'm kind of wildly speculating too, but like I thought isn't it public info that China literally carried the digital item sales? I can't do tack pauses from Brighton though. Like, it's a bit too far. I feel like Chinese players don't care about trophies and legacies so much. That's not, you can't speculate like that. You can't speculate like that unless you know. There's the word legacy there is horrible to use, because what if your intention is to win with a Chinese team? Like, that can count as legacy. Like, it's not easy for these players to just like move halfway across the world to a different country. Like, when they're getting probably paid pretty well with great viewership in their own home. Like, why would they do that? Whoa. It's just A main every round, control from XLG. I mean, there's intention. There is some intention. I think they don't really understand the movement around this side of the map when stuff happens here. But they're not scared. They just can stack B because they're not scared. They never use drones to repush, which is maybe an issue further down the line, but in this situation, it doesn't matter. Wow. Very easy hold here. Viper ult. Again, like I would expect Jet to be. Why he's playing in the ult? The drone doesn't actually go that far. When you were catching Fnatic, were there particular signs, ways you were losing rounds or map control that specifically looked for in order to call pauses, or was it more of a team call for a timeout? I would call the timeout 95% of the time. The rule generally was just if we lost like 3 rounds in a row, that I was probably going to take a pause. I mean, I wasn't looking for specifics. It's just usually if we're losing, I'm going to have to pause and tell them why they're losing. Leo once asked for one. Alpha sometimes. Leo's asked for one once. Alpha's said, oh, maybe we should pause a couple of times. Did you do the pause after 3 lost gun rounds? No. Usually 3 rounds in a row. Sometimes I would leave it longer. I definitely wouldn't pause as quickly as what I should have done. But I thought that a lot of the time, there are some times where there's such an obvious solution to the problem we're facing. Sorry, I'm just popping open a film canister. Such an obvious solution to the problem we're facing that if I paused, it would be a pointless pause because the coach on the other team will know what we're doing. And so there were times where I would late pause. I do not see Boaster becoming a coach. I could see him being a coach, like almost like doing like Los Ratones or whatever the fuck they're called, like that kind of vibe. I don't see why he'd want to coach, though. Like a serious full-time coach, he won't. He'd enjoy streaming way more. He'd enjoy streaming way more. If he has that, if he ever like stops playing and has a competitive itch, there are probably ways for him to scratch that itch that don't involve full-time coaching. Do you think you could have won in 23 if you didn't face Loud? It's like a bait question because it's a bait question. It's like, I don't know. I do think something happens in tournaments. I think it was discussed quite a few times recently, where it's like PaperX have managed to avoid Genji mostly at Toronto, which probably helped them. There are some teams that just do well against other teams that you're trying to avoid. Like bracket luck is like a real thing for sure. So whilst I believe probably in a delusional way that we could have won champs, who cares? Like it's a who cares. China region will dominate this game. League of Legends example. I think that we would be very stupid to underrate China over the coming years. But at this very point in time, I think that China is the worst region. I mean, China dominates the Western League. Like, Korea obviously dominates league, but like let's be real, like we fucking suck compared to China, don't we?
这一次掌握了局面，就看王浩哲这把进攻狙了，这是前面这个暂停的伏笔。对局，
王浩哲位置先抢到了。
Korea dominates league and Korea doesn't come close to dominating VCT. I think that Korea's not dominating VCT. Like, okay, like, but the reasons why are different. Like, Korea doesn't care as much about Valorant as they do League. And despite that, they are fucking good at Valorant. Something that's always confused me, how does Fnatic do so well? As surely a fragging IGL like Valorant would be more impactful than Boaster. Because Boaster... Okay, like, track G2's track record in the past year for, like, comp decisions, for instance. I think Boaster had a poor kickoff for, like, Reed. Like, an average. But, like, just last week, a couple of weeks ago, G2 were playing Breach on, like, 2 maps. Or 3 maps. Last year, G2 were playing Breach. I do think that, in general, I would consider Boaster the slightly more strategic-minded, and Valorant the more fragging-minded. I think that in this meta, that might help Valorant more. I would still put them up against each other as, like, who could be more valuable, and, like, who's more valuable is, like, it's hard to say. At this very second, Valorant's obviously doing a little bit better, but we haven't seen deep global runs from G2 consistently yet. I think that the way that G2 are playing this meta, though, is a style in which Fnatic would always struggle with, because I've thought about it before when I was coaching, that, like, I think sometimes we struggle to give players agency, and I think this meta requires a lot of player agency. I'm not gonna watch Party Santiago, but I'll VOD review. I have never felt Fnatic lost a series because Boaster's aim was bad. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think that they certainly have lost series because Boaster didn't get enough frags. But that's not the point. That doesn't mean that my thought about him is any different in terms of how valuable he is. Do you think EMEA can compete with China for the weakest competition area? The last time EMEA won the championship was during your coach tenure in Tokyo. To some extent, EMEA is also one team region, right? If you were to count, if you only filter by tournaments won, then sure. If you filter by average placement, then I think EMEA does a lot better than China. The average placement at tournaments is quite weak for China, right? I mean, yeah, Heretics won at AWC, I guess. Yeah, sure. This is the problem, though, is that, like, all I'm saying is, like, I feel like I'm pretty fair in my analysis here. I think that China's the weakest region, but their players are very good. They just need some more time because they don't have the history of FPS like some other teams do and other regions do. Over time, they will become very strong. Their coaching and strategic side doesn't seem the best right now. Yeah, like, it's inevitable with the resources and, like, structures and stuff. Over time, they should be very good. If the academy teams pop off in China, then, like, they might not even need the strategic side if they have 5 happy ways every single fucking team. What? How long do we give them? Hasn't it been enough? Do you really think that, like, if we drew a map out of, like, time, do you really think that it's like gonna stop going down? Like, why would it go down though? Like, if this is time, and this is like getting better at Valorant, all the things that help you to get good at Valorant, like on this side, like why would it stop? Like, there's going to be experience. There's going to be more players playing the game. There's going to be continued structure and support for the region. I don't know. It might never get to the point where they can, you know, it might never get to the point where they consistently are like the best region or something, but all the material reasons are there to become a great region. With that line exceed everyone else's line, okay, in EMEA or Americas, what are we gaining that China isn't? We have very deep rooted experience already. We have, like, we don't have the same resources probably. We already have like it all set up properly. Like I don't, why would our line get any better? Like, we already have, like, if you list all the coaches in the West, like, we already have like all the coaching staff you'd want. We had all the Counter-Strike players we wanted. I don't think our line actually goes up that much. Like, we've already set the foundation. Of course, there's like less structural things will keep improving and stuff, but I think structurally, our line ain't going up that much. So now they stop taking A main, and then they do like it's almost like on C site Haven, when they, like, you stop holding C and you just go to garage. But why is this player not, like, Yoru should be here right now to, like, or at least like closer, so that they can like crunch middle or do something together at middle. If China was to catch up, they already would at this point. Why? Why would they already have at this point? It could take it could just it could never happen, but they have the opportunity to do so. If you put a bunch of great coaches into that region, you would immediately see a difference. Why would it already have happened? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Which IG are you taking from EMEA and Americas? Me and my mate would always argue about this. I mean, I would obviously choose Boaster. I'm a very biased, because the best IGL I would work with would be Boaster. So it's like, if I wasn't myself, it's a different question maybe. Like, if it was someone else, I think Nats is a very solid option. Valen is obviously a decent option. It depends what the structure's like. If you go there, you'll be the godfather of the CN region. Yeah, yeah.
但是他也发挥他场上去。现在 Raga 也有狙，对 XLG 来说，他们在这张地图
So I'm not really paying attention very
远
well.
比那场
It's just the same kind of thing a lot. It's Jet, Omen, and then 3. These put pressure at A main. These just hold. BLG has no intention of like taking the map and then like doing something. Like there's no threat here from BLG. Just keep running into people. Oh, they got a Gecko who can't really default, ironically. Like, this might be Gecko's worst map to default. Like, I would argue the XLG are the best team in China right now. And they don't even speak their native tongue. They have a Western coach. And they speak English. Like, it's kind of rough. Over time, though, if there were more teams that did that, I think over time the knowledge should be passed down a little bit more. I don't think AG's better. No, I think XRG should have beat AG pretty easily. I don't trust AG. Start learning Mandarin, many is your destiny. TMV was just said AG should have lost to XOG. Yeah, there is something about native tongue buff. Like, in EMEA, we've become, in Europe, in both CS and Valorant, we've become accustomed to the idea that you don't have, like, we have international teams, right? But the argument before that became a thing was, like, for a long time in Cash, like, a team that was mixed nationality hadn't won a major. So I do think there is obviously something to it. Yeah, they just don't do anything. XOG are even playing very passive. I mean, it's almost like if the other team isn't going to default appropriately, why would you try and play the map, like, interestingly? Why would you go for pushes? But then at the same time, if they are playing grouped up, then you probably should actually exploit that too. I don't know. They are consistently stacking the right side, so XOG here, so... Or at least in time to rotate with the delay, with their aiming control. I mean, low by... Four middle. Next, what you go for the heavy A. Let's see if they do anything. I wonder what they do here. Do they just fast flood? Or are they gonna actually pressure? I mean, it's like a great round for BLG. Oh, that shock dart might have just won them around. No man's done enough damage there to win them around. That's crazy. Should have been BLG's round really easy, I think.
要去反绕，有人要去做大绕。正面56，能不能扛住？没扛住，那不能绕 ，Raga 赶
出来就会被秒。
哦，中之后我觉得在精力上。
Hydrate.
还是在过往的战绩上面，因为 XLG 是掉下来，对他们有太多的不利因素产生了。
How do you feel about coaching again Boaster and EWC? What are you talking about?
XLG 先面对防守方的压力 ，BLG 有终结这张地图的机会，而且是立刻终结的机会。
What thoughts about New Breeze? I think that it's a better map, but it's lost its edge. I think it's lost its edge with the tube gone, but it is a better map. Who's better, AG or BOG? Probably AG. Oh, EWC. You're talking about Esports Nations Cup. No, I won't be involved with that. It's not my thing.
56应该会反开无人机，这也是一个两面标志性的动作了。
无人机开过去，中路第二是 XLG 想要反拿信息，但这个反顶的信息，我觉得对他是没有任何的意义。
他只是确保说对面没有快速的威胁到 B 小的门口。
对，因为他开完无人机，这位置都站不住了，就现在反而中去进一步丧失信息。 哇，那这样其实第一波 XLG
又是高点的留一手。
I thought it was a boom bot. I thought it was a boom bot.
这个战斗小组，
而且这两个人站位很紧，这一次
后背只能交给队友了。
56到了，
哎，这是招牌。
There's just never any activity. XRG play they're just playing very. You know what I mean? They never push out, and even now their A main control is like they're just playing like in the middle of nothing now together.
丢丢在众目睽睽之下，这个丢丢又不能捡了。哦，这是皮蛋，这是皮蛋，丢丢还在手里面。
I mean, this could work. This double stack.
56要看住中门，56他手中掌握2个6的背身，
他一定不能把人放过去。XLG 这边留一手，但是如下意识到了这个局面，因为你们每次都在这么做。
Noman 借助烟藏一手，有极限的位置。
Oh, it was a good job from Noman. But yeah, we never see any aggression at all from defense. XLG are very strange. This map. All the kind of criticisms I had of all gamers apply to XLG this map, I think. He's got suck.
这次没人帮他看。
我感觉这个包他能看呀。
这个舌吻直接进来 ，Happy Way 拉出来，我 Never 全转条太灵性了。
52滴血，
找到了人，拖时间，
已经快没时间了。
Happy Way 其实没有优势的，因为
看到了爆能
器，
看到了爆能器，爆能器没有被拆，
拆一半 ，Happy Way 起来再去找 ，Never 就是不出来，
活住就赢了
，Never， 终结拿。
Is Forsaken an actual IGL like Valor Boaster, or is it not comparable? It's not comparable. Knives, I can't draw 2 Viper Walls if you don't. I don't know what they are. I'll be drawing random walls. You have to send me what you think they are. Oh, so you're asking the wrong person. I've not sat down and really dug deep on the micro Viper Walls on this map. In Valorant, it's easy to explain. It's not easy to explain. From the box outside A. Yeah, they play the most proper Valorant. On Breeze, I was disappointed. they didn't play any aggression at all. And even when they played here, they didn't really play aggressive. So this was the first map where I really didn't like how they're playing. They just played like this, basically. And they played the same setup like every round. 2 here, 1 here, Yoru here, Viper here. And they just didn't do anything. Even when they played like 2 here instead of 2 here and left this free, they didn't have people ready to fight with it. It wasn't very intentional. How to view Japan as having a large audience but a weak team, just like China? The way you view it is that the Japanese tier 2 system has a complete chokehold over talent. The Japanese tier 2 is very strong in Japan. But I've been told that culturally players prefer to not become pro players, as well as tier 2's too comfortable. Who do you think has been the best pickup in the off-season? I mean, Martin. Wait, no, it was the one to the left of the toolbox. Are you saying this versus this? You asked the wrong person. This one, you allow someone to stand here and spam. This one doesn't allow that person to spam. But then on the contrary, when you're on attack, you can use this in post a bit more. And then you can also use this for crossfires, right? You're saying crossfire here, maybe? I don't think the crossfire here is a real crossfire, though. Because no one should go through this wall. Unless you're able to cycle the smokes in a way that you've cycled your smoke here first, and then it goes, and then you wall up. But the problem is if you cycle that and there's no wall here, then you're in the middle of nothing. I don't think you should be able to sit here. I don't think this crossfire is actually the reason for this wall. I don't think you should be forcing this wall. The reason for this over the other one is because you can walk this way, I guess, right? You can crunch. You have more exec options. I don't really have a hot opinion on either wall, though. I think the other thing is you could, like, playing back. It's more about playing back here, to be honest. You can get a line from here, probably, a little bit. The lurk one. I think I liked this part of the wall when I first saw it. But I think you might be fucking up some of this stuff. Like, this stuff in post is a bit fucked, to be honest. I don't think this is actually the most necessary, especially if you're playing Astra. But yeah, I don't have hot opinions. Usually stuff like that, I test it in scrims, and it's not really my place in scrims right now. That's not really my job to, like, that's not the level of detail that I'm looking at really for it, so yeah. Oops. Pearl. I think I can watch one more, but I'm getting really hungry. Should I watch the 13-4? Should we try and see a positive? Should we end on a positive, and then I still got 2 maps to watch tomorrow, maybe? No man has a fucking game here. I'm not watching pro. It's 13-4. I'm really hungry. I need to go eat. It's 3A. It's almost 4A. Retake B. It's a bit rough. Hopefully an anti-strat. Team less bad macro-wise than AG? Yeah. It's not macro. I think the way that I'll frame it is like strategic fundamentals rather than macro. Because I think macro is just a buzzword people use sometimes. And then also, most teams have kind of iffy macro. But strategic fundamentals, most teams are actually alright. But strategic fundamentals for AG are like really bad. Drink up. I mean, I have like a tiny bit of squash left. I just mean basics like knowing that your Yoru shouldn't be playing passive like a Jet. Knowing that your Asher Star should be placed deep. Knowing that rotating only through CT spawn isn't great. Knowing that playing passive every round isn't good on defense. Knowing that when you're scaling through a Viper orb, you probably shouldn't send 5 pieces of utility. You know? Did you watch EDG versus BOG yet? No, that's tomorrow. Or the next day. No, probably Sunday. Platchat is probably gonna do a China segment, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. And I'm just making sure I have... I was already watching this anyway, but then I said I can do that if you need me. And I think I'll end up doing it, so I just need to make sure I watch them before. How are you, Zeke? How you doing? We did see some movement here. It's been a while since we watched a split game where people have actually... I mean, ideally it'd be the Yoru is actually helping right now and not just Lies or Solo, but give this a tick. Paranoia is to sit in a smoke. Why don't they just take it? I guess he got hit. They should be going together, taking B main if they want to take B main. I don't really understand why he's solo going. I don't understand why he's paranoia. I guess he probably got insta-dinked, then just tried to paranoia. He did actually win Jules. What's their default? Viper, Yoru, where they fade. Probably see the Yoru being the kind of joker, I guess. They're giving up mid quite quickly, but it's an anti-eco. Can't really read too much into it. I'd love to see at some point... This wall is fucked. This wall should be... No man's in no man land. What's he doing? He's letting crappy guns get up close to him. I'd rather be stood right here. get anywhere. Very strange to play here solo on an Antico. Heaven's not the most fun place to be on an Antico, though, to be fair. Yeah, not the best. Not the best positioning. I mean, it's like a fucking snowball effect from here. They lose their anti-eco and still win this game 13-4. Wait, that happened to Paper X. I heard the comms. They were gonna break the reveal, and then they didn't break reveal. What is it with this reveal that people can't break? Push through CT. They lost this control, so push through CT is quite nice. It is against eco, so a bit risky, but what you gonna do? They're loving the 3A. They're giving up middle control a lot. A fast B split might actually be quite good against them. I mean, just came down to that duel, really, didn't it? Not really much more to say. There's no. The comp is a breach. It's a solo Wele comp who's insta dashed in, and then we've got no follow up entry because we've only got the Wele. So it's almost like they've. Using the dash immediately here when you have no other duelist is a bit sus, I think. Like, the whole point of the comp is that you're building everything around the Wele to some degree. Like, the Wele is going to go in and you're going to put 10 pieces of util on them. But one TP away was enough to negate all the util being used on the opener. Do you watch Game Changers? I watched Game Changers deeper into the season. Last year was the first time I didn't watch Game Changers because I was very tired. But yeah, I don't usually watch Game Changers early season because there's just so many games that, to me, the stakes are quite low. And then once the season gets towards the end of the season, the stakes become very high. So I prefer watching Game Changers just before and at champs. Most teams is 3A was this isn't I don't know, but most teams just. What are you trying to say, Balex? I am confused. There's too much Valorant to watch right now. There is higher stakes than Game Changers currently.
但是 AY 一直在等啊。
Nef 拿的这个点，为了这个手离魂，很有意思的一个大招。
Got your driver's license? Congratulations.
会选择怎么一个玩法？很多这个幽影现在会选择原地假踢。
Very passive. I do have to be critical of XOG at a certain point too, that they're extremely passive defenses. It's like, it's almost like they just hope that they got 3 one side and then they got like pseudo 3 on the other side of the TP or something. They never got any information. At what point do I... Is this... It's 2 maps now this has happened. It's very strange. It's very strange to know that China as a region, generally across games, is known to be aggressive, even in Valorant itself. And we're seeing some of the most passive defenses globally right now from these teams. I guess it might be a symptom of the fact that the attack sides from China have been so direct and not very complicated that they're able to just stack sites easily or something. It's the same, like, it's just the same. It's not bad, but it's like not getting any edges strategically. We have like the same Yoru problem. We have the line problem and we have the Yoru problem. Yoru's just being used as a jet anchor. And we got a team not going past the line. Yeah, EDG was very the thing that I liked about EDG was their reclears. Like as soon as you took apart like space and then went quiet, they'd be happy to try and reclear you almost immediately or like push somewhere. And it was really successful and like really good. And I'm very interested to see how EDG are playing right now defensively, because both XOG, well, AG are having this problem across every map, it looks like. XOG have it on some maps. Look how passive. It's not even anymore, like, it's not even a meme about the line. It's like they're literally the furthest back possible. Like, this is the most passive thing you could do in a bad way. And then they literally, they're in spawn. Their plan is to literally spam chokes and stuff. Like, it's crazy. I think it might be, again, like I said, a symptom of attack side, like poor attack sides, meaning that the defenses realize they can play like this. If they play like this at Santiago, I don't think it's gonna work that well. Has anyone seen the Bond Shield ad? What the fuck is Bond Shield? Am I getting these nuts joked? It's the same setup every round. They have a 1 macro defense with a comp that is not... Like, I know they have a Yoru... like, Yoru's good on defense, and Wele's good on defense, like, naturally with the Saturate and stuff. But to play, like, such a bunkered setup every round with these agents feels a bit wrong. But then the attack side is literally just... Maybe it's an anti-strat. Is it an anti-strat? Maybe I need to watch, because I remember seeing on Pearl against All Gamers, they didn't do this. They were actually quite aggressive. Maybe it's just anti-strat, because they know that BLG don't default or something. Hey, Attitude.
第二时间再踢回来，Happy 伟在2楼，1楼2楼有高加来的手稳，Happy 伟接完了，接了3个，但是他拼了好几有点顶，出山了，确实上一分。
Yeah, BLG just all in every round, pretty much. It's low by, and they all in. I like this. I like that. Just a delayed peek instead of the open peek to stop the jump spotter from just immediately winning that exchange. Can we get, like, we've lost middle now. Can we do something? Let's do something. I guess until BLG prove they can do anything against the fact that XLG are playing this passive, they won't. Forward pressure here. I'd love to see. Just get into B main. Like, what are we doing? We've lost this. We've lost this. Our like, for some reason we're forward pressuring here without a backfill. And we're also kind of aggressive B main. It's like we don't quite understand what we're doing. But we're almost there. And we've fully taken it now. But it's kind of late. Okay, we do have Omenot. So Omenot was a win condition, I guess. For the rotate. So I did miss that. Breach out into Viper ult for BLG. Have they once, has BLG once put pressure somewhere and not gone there? Because like stuff like this is just winning XLG the round. It's way too easy for XLG. But now they go for full, when they do go for full B main, it's when they have info. When they don't have info, they don't do stuff like this. But when they have info, they go for it. It's strange. I know they have more people here, so they feel like they should be proactive, which is kind of nice. And I guess they are against the ults. I hate this position. This position is like a no-man position. No man's land position. Doesn't do anything. It's hard to hold from, and it doesn't. As soon as they smoke you, you're kind of fucked. It's like, I think it's only good in very specific crossfires where you can push the smoke, but it's kind of risky. He still got 2. It's fine. Yeah, the 2. $3A to shut down what they think is aggression on A start. We're gonna get a deep Euro. I hope that I would at this spot I wonder what they would have done. So they were gonna keep 2 there, but I wonder if like he rotates, put the Waylay up here. And then Yoru stays, maybe, is probably the best option. Because Yoru's got the op, could just stay there the whole round. Instead, we don't get to find out. They were setting up for, like, if they were to re-clear, they win. But I guess this player would have rotated, and they would have just left the gap on vents, maybe. Is he TPing up? Have they just given up this round? They just gave up this round. It's like, yeah, we'll just walk out. Yeah, we'll just TP into nothing.
来，但是给了他一个机会，
单把的补了，单把的完全想不到第二人在哪儿。哦，一个非常漂亮的横拉，
他能不能再次拯救 BLG？假低，
这是一个需要打到 ace 的局面。
他已经换枪了，
骗了个大招，
而且 XLG 再找他，
暗兽队躲。
这个时刻是霸的能否拯救 BLG 成为英雄的证明。
最后一发闪，有机会交吗？鬼眼找到，被照到。
Fade eye doesn't get broken. Into saturate. Into sears. That's a fucking GG. That's a fucking GG.
上半场最后一分，3分还是2分，对于 PLG 来说依然有一个本质的区别。
Viper ult mid, 3A again. I mean, the TP needs to be slightly closer. Because these B hits have been mostly shut down by Happy Way's rotation. But he can't rotate as easily with this ult. He's gonna do it anyway. That's how confident he is that you're hitting. Aftershock kill. Quite nice. I don't know why we're obsessed with stacking A though. Especially with the Viper ult. What do you do while you watch? What?
这分是一个非常明确的人数优势，5打3，这是 BLG 为数不多的机会。Raga 甩了一下，好像是腿，没甩到身体，
伤害不太够，
不太下得来了，这分下不来了。
但是2楼硬下。
Can you troll? Can you troll better? Like troll better, please. Can you adopt me?
但是2楼硬下，打了一个回去。Noma 还活着，而且王浩这有一个实力线的伏笔，京东方的站位稍微有点挤，往 B 头。
现他也只能打
X 半气
会吧，还可以。
找
他应该会
撞来到迎来。
Can you save DRG?
现在霸的反而是团队当中火力最充沛
I'm currently contracted to saving Zeta, apparently.
一侧是4人
I'm not doing the best job though.
多了一个毒点，
而且上来很主动的把自己的鬼眼丢出去了。
Just saw a clip of you on Billy talking about China at Santiago with 180k views. That's funny. My secret popularity is in China. Yeah, what are the comments like? Very defensive about China. Saying EMEA hasn't won a champ in 2 years. Oh, is that what they do? Is that the goalpost? Is that they just be like, oh yeah, but champs matters way more? Is that why they think that they're like, they think that my is that, yeah, because I haven't won champs, they can do, yeah, they could do jiu-jitsu. Wait. They literally think, they genuinely believe that China's better than EMEA. And they believe that China's been better than EMEA for the past years. I'll say it, EMEA is dog shit and has been dog shit for a while. But Fnatic had one of the best years out of any team last year. Like, I don't really want to read the comments, no, because I'd prefer to not read comments that are probably going to flame me. You don't need to link the video. I'd rather be blissfully ignorant.
Knife 的一个单人扛点，现在标记的整体阵型直接后缩了，
因为你根本不知道中路跟 B2 楼长什么样子。 Knife 随时可能会被直接夹到，
这其实就是一个比较赌的策略，
就很赌。但我不知道 BLG 会赌多久。
Like, if you were to, like, the way that I do my predictions is like, if I was to become the house for a betting thing, what odds would I give teams? The odds would be the best for Pacific, then Americas, then EMEA. You know?
等你会出来。
两个人感觉两边战队感觉在做那种潜水的那个屏气测试。
Has many never seen Chinese people on social media. That's a hell of a way to write that sentence. That's not how you write that sentence.
另一边是要藏住的。
来了，这可能。
现在霸的反而是团队当中火力最充沛的那个人。
是的，包括。
Oh, the other interesting thing is, do they think that I actually care about EMEA? Do they presume that I care about EMEA? Because I don't. Like, I don't. That's kind of funny. Maybe I should flame EMEA more. They seem to think you think EMEA is the best. I literally said that they were the APAC and Americas were better. This plat chat system is going to be very interesting if we do one. Because I'm gonna have to pre-warn that, like, we talked about the Turkish clip farmers last week. We're gonna get fucking. It's gonna be a new level.
在第11分的时候，
一侧是4人，标记做了一个堵点。
It's a lot of 2-minute clips, so a lot of out of context stuff as well. Nice, I love it.
主动的把自己的鬼眼丢出去了。
But you do you. I don't care.
现在要退一退，直接后缩了，
因为你根本不知道中路跟 B2 楼长什么样子。
At the end of the day, there's a reason why. Yeah, I'm not gonna say. There's a. I don't know. I think if it's out of context clips, then I would probably be annoyed too. So.
现在看谁先憋不住了。
对，
But no, it's more just like it doesn't make any sense what I was about to say. Very, very slow eco pistols, right? From we got 4A randomly throwing a reveal. I'm not sure what we're doing. Why are we throwing that reveal? What did that reveal do for us here? Full retake B. The gambling is crazy. Might be the most boring pistol I've ever watched in Valorant.
来了，那最保险的位置就是我在这个位置走不能被夹了吧？
主要害怕是2楼啊，被静音一些。
悄咪咪的不 X 接，不进来，静音接触经典的 contact。
大家无伤经典了。
But they knew. Like, how did they know? Like, they're just like peeking out and just like they're just like, yeah, they're not here. They didn't really think they were there, did they? They weren't priming a paranoia. Guess good read from XLG. Open plant with reveal. Something weird going on here, but it looks like decent prep. An intentionality with the fact that, like, we have the lurker, we get the open plant. I mean, I guess probably an anti-strat, I guess, of some sort. The reveal on A made them think it was a trap. I mean, that reveal on A doesn't make it. No. No. Wait, what were your comments?
如果说上次的93，XOG 丢掉的那个手枪分让他们陷入了苦斗，但这一次他们把握住的是下半场的手枪分，
而且这每拿1分都是在把 BLG 往悬崖的方向再多推一点。
Wait, I can't believe it, man. 320. I haven't got enough viewers to be clip farmed that badly, surely. 80. I guess in total. I mean, there's 80 people watching on YouTube. mean, 400 people. I guess it's enough. I just wonder how many people sit here and actually, my content just becomes the people in my chat who are like actually active, and then the rest, everyone else is just like clip farmers.
但是现在这个比分已经思考不了那么多了。
看能不能放包。
要打一个反清。
抓海比维，海比维慢慢点，旁边
打一个反清。
抓海比维，好强。
I need to start clip farming myself, man. That was supposed to be that. I need to go back to that. I need to clip farm myself. I need to stop letting these people clip farm me. Maybe I.
似乎一切都对于 XLG 来说非常的有利，甚至现在身位都很远，而且 Noma 现在点数他应该会去要更多。
信息已经拿到了，
拍下3个点有大，减速大黑，来。
Should Viper accept that strong side fight or reject it? What do you mean?
烟之外可能教了一些东西。来了，奈夫选择了一个最这个回防，
非常多这一波回防。
双前锋的回防。
In a man.
可能烟以外，烟之外。
You mean on the anti-eco? Nothing on the previous round was. Oh, here. I mean, he shouldn't be accepting this fight. No, it's bad. The only exception to the rule is that he has someone here with him, so it's fine. It's fine. I like BLG's. This is probably the nicest classic. The pink and blue is very nice. It's the nicest thing that I can say. Chinese myself, I think the problem people don't understand this game and too ignorant to learn and admit China original speak. The problem is that I'm not here to create an agenda or anything. I'm just watching the games and commenting on what I see, you know, like I'm very excited for the prospect of China becoming stronger. Individually, the region's got better a lot. Like, the players are very strong. There's more teams that are like capable of doing good things. It's just consistency is going to be a problem with the lack of experience and strategic underpinnings. Strategic understanding. How do you buff your own body? What do you mean? What would I change about my body to make it better? Is that what you mean? Or are you asking how do you become buff? You think win T1 and TL? I think T1 are favorites, but I'm liking the direction of the Neon Waylay for Team Liquid, and so it should be a pretty good game. Is raised to like a primary duelist on split or is Waylay better? I think this is interesting. Like the data is showing that maybe raise on raise maps might still be better, but that might be a comfort thing. Like at ceiling, Waylay might be better, but as a general comfort thing, maybe raise is better. I'm not sure which one I would prefer. I think I'd rather have a very good Waylay player though, I think. Like the past champs, the team rankings by the seeing casters are sad. You would expect them to understand the game, but how they rank the teams was sad to watch. What do you mean? What does that mean, John? You mean they predicted stuff poorly? Or that they put Chinese teams above everyone else? That roast us too bad. I've been pretty negative, I think, Norman, about I was much more negative about all gamers. I think that you guys should have beat all gamers. I think that in general, I think that the problem is like I think China is the weakest region, and so I'm getting clip farmed by Billy Gaming right now. By Billy, sorry. I think you guys are probably the best team in China. I was a bit confused by, I don't know if you can answer, but your defenses are usually a bit okay. So all gamers' defenses, you can draw a line on the map, and they just never play in front of the line. For you guys, obviously, you do go in front of the line sometimes, but against Billy on a lot of maps, you are just sat very passive. Is that your playstyle, or is that more a game plan? And if you can't answer, you don't have to answer, but I will just go and check out the VODs quickly. Like on Pro, you guys were quite aggressive, but against all gamers. But like this map, for instance, you're very like there's a couple of rounds where you're like going down here as a team, but you're very rarely fighting for like space. And if you don't answer, I'll take that as pleading the fifth. You don't think I can answer that one? That's fine. That's fine. I will have to check another one quickly. Okay, second follow-up question. How much of your game revolves around game plans versus not game plans? Can you answer that one? Follow-up question. What do you think of China as a region? Like, my take is, like, I'm being very honest, that my take is that I think that it is slightly weaker than other regions right now. I think individually it's extremely strong. I think the individuals are extremely strong. I think it doesn't surprise me that your team looks the best, considering that you have a coach who's worked outside of China for most of his career. If we freestyle Hoya, we'll have our balls is the best way I can answer that one. Oh, okay. So like my take on China is individually strong, strategically lacking fundamentals is the way I would see it. What are your thoughts before I get clip farmed and killed for having critical opinions? I'd say this meta benefits China much more than previous metas. I agree with that. That's good. I agree. I would agree with that, but so far, I would say that because all gamers just kind of sat back on defense completely, and I was very surprised. Like if all gamers did more of the kind of EDG style stuff from 2024, where EDG are very like quick to re-clear, quick to re-push stuff, I would be like on board and be like, okay, we're cooking. But right now I'm like, well, the first seed has major issues, and then like you guys are decent, but you still lost to the first seed, who have issues. But yeah, I agree. The meta should be better for you. But it's just weird watching. It's really weird watching a team play so passive. Clout, what are your feelings overall on XRG compared to AG? So far, I think that X or G, are they more have better strategic fundamentals than AG? There are still some things on some maps where I'm a bit confused why they're so passive on defense. Specifically in this VOD, both Split and Breeze were very passive, but I can see why they would want to do that against a Waylay Breach. So my homework is basically I need to go and watch very quickly other times they've watched Split and Breeze to see if they're doing it as a game plan or if they do it on purpose. If they do it on purpose, I think that they could be exploited for that at Santiago. If it's a game plan thing, then I'm quite happy with how XLG are approaching maps. Yeah, I'm more worried for all gamers, but I think all gamers do have strong individuals. Sitting in front of 2,000 people rather than sitting in front of a 100-person studio makes a difference as well. Yeah, but the things I'm critical of aren't anything to do with 2,000 people versus 100 people. So I think it's good to get those reps in though. Like that, having those reps is like a good thing. But nothing that I'm critical about is individual. Like the individuals seem good. Like you guys can shoot. It's more the foundations and structures and stuff.
这个怀教感觉有机会啊。
感觉没了 ，Raka 感觉没了。
这个感觉
看 Raka 在蹭最远距离，Raka 还是被连分拿下来，35滴血，王浩哲撤退。是的，就抓喜欢近接触啊。而且 Knife 这边还有一个喷子，但是左手边，哇，海底抓喜欢。
Richard's got that red guy fucking. Something looks wrong with how he's got his elbow on the table. Is there a good player, like a really good player who has their elbow on the table? Who does that? That's kind of crazy. China over the last couple of years has always had interesting agent composition when it comes to VCT. With how the meta is right now, where so many teams have unique comps. Huh? This is the least diverse meta we've ever seen. There's not unique comps. $11 out of 12 teams go to Santiago play double duelist. More than Chamber. Chamber, like, let's be real. Let's think about this just slightly differently. I think it's hard for a game that Chamber meta was 4 years ago. How many agents were there back then compared to now? And the state of the balance should be better nowadays than it was back then. Like, it's if we're like, I think the best way to do it would be comparing a previous meta to a current meta. If we did that, there is the biggest disparity in diversity we've ever seen. If we go champs 25 to now, I think this had one of the most diverse metas we've ever had. Very interesting. And now we have 11 out of 12 double duelist teams. Like the difference between one patch has been incredible. NRG are the only team that don't play double duelist, yes. On the majority of their maps. The majority of their maps. So they have to play it on at least like 3 or 4 maps for me to consider them a double duelist team. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Cap, I can't remember back then very much. I would presume that during Chamber Meta, it was still mostly double initiator. But I have a feeling that you're probably right. Asher Viper 2022 was least diverse. Yeah, so I just think that it's one of those things where you. But I think we're talking about the game 4 years ago. The game 4 years ago should be less. Should be sorry there's less options 4 years ago.
还是保住了人数优势，要飞了，飞上来。
但是包点里面没有人啊 ，BLG 现在。
是的 ，BLG 选择放包点了。
哦，这个暗眼推的其实比较着急，留守应该是想帮助队友换位，甚至要去顶到咨询师的位置。
What's wrong with having elbow on the table? Nothing wrong with having elbow on the table. It's just strange.
要来了，脸上就有人。有大了，有大招，
但是得先放包。现在放包是第一要务，因为队友的包能先被打。
Sorry.
卡住这个2楼的位置。
这个图王浩哲和他的判断应该是有很多故事的。
The Sentinel role should become interesting. I thought that the Sentinel role was going to be far more interesting, and there's still more variety that should be played. But ultimately, there's a lot of maps in the pool right now where you don't need a Sentinel. You just play Viper as pseudo Senti. And then because you're playing double duelist, like Cypher becomes like the easiest kind of Sentinel on a lot of maps. Or people just play Comfort Killjoy, which I don't know what PNL means.
就抓喜欢进行接触啊！
而且 Knife 这边还有一个喷子，但是左手边，哇，海底围，
而且再拉过来 ，bug 好补，直接打掉了这个中区的埋伏，
还是保住了人数优势，要飞了，飞上来。
Oh, pick in there.
但是包点里面没有人。
I mean, we should be seeing a lot more, yeah. Chamber.
哦，这个暗眼推的其实比较着急，留守。
Yeah, we should be seeing a lot more Chamber than we are.
顶到咨询师的位置，要来了。
The only argument against Chamber would be, like, Neon is pretty annoying sometimes, and so, like, your Chamber player has to be able to deal with Neon. Double Senti comps on Binder outdated? Are dead. Double Senti, if your double Senti is designed to stop double duelist, then it could be good. But if it's just Vice Deadlock, then it's probably not that great.
广告牌，
王浩哲还能飞的，王浩哲还能拉枪线的，
传到了，传残了，来自己横传，
哦，
队友也打了一个，
有大招，
直接给，
躲不了，
只能等。
但是如果没有主动出击，其实对 XLG 来说，反而 Knife 也许会有一些拆分的机会。
Knife 有黑，
会穿吗？会穿吗？
进行接触吗？
反后他可能会默认有一个，他会先做一个身位上微弱的拆分，但是都没错，记得比分。
BLG 似乎看到了终点，在朝自己招手，也在朝对面招手。他们这一分
You've been study maxing. I was doing that yesterday with friends. We were talking about that guy, the looks maxer guy. We just kept saying, maxing to everything.
早点拿到这个击杀，或者早点拿到对面的信息。金光在等 ，XLG 很清楚你的经济面板是什么样，但是也会压出来。
可以转。
I'm gonna be gone in a sec, Cal. It looks like they're about to win anyway.
看到了终点，在朝自己招手，也在朝对面招手。已经飞方位，他们在等。
Happy 维其实已经下 A 点的默认加了很久了。
而且由于中路没有压的够深，你会看到 BLG 完全不知道对面在做什么。
Okay, they do go to the right place.
最好的。
来了 BLG 3人堵点。
可能2楼都不太会圈，因为这个也是知道 BLG 没什么钱，可能会起喷子。
这3个人还都有枪，唯2没枪的人都在 B 区，A 区的人被发现。
要考验露西亚的第一枪位。
Rush. Why is he not just using his spit? It's very strange.
A 区的人被发现。
要考验露西亚的第一枪位。
诺飞进来了，但是凹槽，露西亚没了吗？露西亚没了，王浩哲还在，王浩哲一被捕，
守不住了。
It's over. Okay. I coach Mogged you, yeah. It's true. I did coach Max. For like the past 5 years I was coach maxing. And I was fucking mogging. Minnie, did you used to struggle with social anxiety and making friends ever? Yeah, I've struggled with social anxiety for sure. Making friends, I'd say that like my sister was far more natural at just making friends than I was, but I would always have friends. Um, yeah. I think the worst I had it was when I went from secondary school to I went to college, like not university, like like a sixth form basically, but somewhere else. And I didn't share classes with anyone. I had like barely any friends then, but like I wasn't like um yeah, I wasn't like pathetic. How did you deal with it? I mean, I was just extremely Hey Mimi, what was your nearest death experience and what did you learn from it? One sec, I'm dealing with social anxiety first. What was I gonna say? I was so criminally shy when I was a teenager. What I just learned was that it's just experience, right? Like you know how people get ranked anxiety, where like they get scared of playing ranked. I think to some degree it's just putting yourself in situations that are a bit uncomfortable. Um, I was like, I was that kid at school that like I'd have people ask me like how I was friends with certain people because some of my friends were like genuinely quite popular people, but I myself was not seen that way, if that makes sense. Because I was kind of funny with them, but like I wouldn't speak a lot. Um, and so some people are like, how, like, why, like some teachers be like, what, like, why are they your friends? Like, how's that happened? Or, you know, so yeah, I have a weird kind of experience with it. How did I deal with it? I didn't. I would. I probably mostly just played video games. Is the answer. That's not a particularly healthy way to deal with it, though. But when I was 16, 17, I would just play Counter-Strike all day, every day, and just go to LANs and stuff. Bacon. I don't mean it like that. It's more like there was like this implication that was like my friends were like the loud, obnoxious people, and I was this quiet kid that was seen to be like a good kid. And so they didn't quite understand sometimes like how that happened, you know? My friends could be dicks and funny and loud. How to talk to people. Pretend you're someone that is good at talking to people and outgoing and ironically go to tech. Yeah, there is a fake it till you make it kind of thing. I honestly think, genuinely, watch Curb Your Enthusiasm and pretend you are Larry David. That's what I used to do sometimes. And like just refuse to get embarrassed ever. Refusing to get embarrassed is like the quickest way, I think. Like there's so many situations in which I say silly shit in front of people, and I think that people expect me to be embarrassed by it, and I'm like, I don't. That's not embarrassing. Like I don't really care. But then it has got me into trouble too. So, what was your nearest death experience? When I was when I finished uni, I was struggling to find a job, and I ended up working in like a print factory, making like £7 an hour, folding a piece of plastic for like 2 years or a year, sorry. And one day I left the little factory and went to cross a road, and literally as I went to cross, a bus window like was passing my face, like my nose was pretty much touching, and so basically I just almost got run over by a bus. I think that's the actual closest one. And I remember thinking, like, I was already kind of depressed at that point, but I remember thinking, like, I mean, I'm kind of depressed, but it'd be a bit stupid to just walk out on the road and die. So I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it was a particularly profound reaction, but I did think that there is something to the fact that sometimes I don't pay attention or don't focus up enough or something. I remember thinking like, bro, I need to actually like lock in sometimes. There's this another anecdote at school where I remember being at school, and the way that my school worked was like there wasn't really a hierarchy really. Like there wasn't like a super good hierarchy for like, oh, you're really popular and then these kids get bullied and like these are the cool kids. It was a bit more flat. And I remember one day we're on a field and like everyone's just like on break time just like chatting. And eventually there was this girl that like she like everyone's just chilling all in their little groups, and like maybe I'm over here chilling with a few of my friends, and I noticed this girl just literally just hover outside of this huge group. And because I'm such a loser, I didn't say like, oh hey, how are you doing? Come over, just chat to us, or whatever. She just hovered like every single day, and eventually she hovered so much that she was just in the group. She just became one of these people. I just watched her strategize. I was like, fair enough. She just became one of the people. So yeah, maybe do that. Maybe just stand next to people and eventually you start talking to them. I don't know. But that did actually happen for this person. But is she weirder than me? I'm the weirdo who was in a group of like a few of my friends observing this happen. And instead of being a normal, nice person and just being like, hey, just come have a chat or whatever, um, I'm the loser that observed this. Like, wait, what's Kim saying? Surely being around Magnum must have been a near-death experience. No, his tomfoolery only applied to himself, and I don't think he's capable of whatever curse he has doesn't apply to anyone else but him. Although I do think I do have negative karma, because when again we're in drawing class now, when we were in the sea together, and his balls got bit by what was it? He got stung by a jellyfish on the balls. My immediate reaction was to laugh a lot. So I do think I have negative karma for sure. But to be fair, it's not like he was immediately saying like anything. He was just screaming loudly in a way that I find kind of funny. So it was hard not to laugh. Your cam is blocking peak art. Oh, sorry, one sec. One sec, there you go. I never got COVID. I've never had COVID. Derma, I reckon, was the most dangerous to others, I imagine. Derma being the most dangerous to others... No. Not really. To be fair, he's the only one who'd probably do anything boisterous. Yours was drowning and your lesson was to not go in the ocean. I had, like, you said a much better answer to my question than I expected. Okay, I'm gonna give myself some praise. Something that Kakuka says quite a lot is that I'm actually pretty decent at answering questions. Like, I think that I'm pretty solid, even if it's not the best answer. I think I can think of things in a way that make it maybe more interesting. I give deep thought to things that are meaningless, and will try to commit to a good answer. I get very like locked in if I'm asked something. Unfortunately, if it's about Chinese Valorant, I might be clip farmed and be hated by a lot of people. But if it's about fun things, then the duelist arc continues. Oh, Marty is who's Marty? Is that Kayak's? Am I speaking completely out of turn? Is that Kayak's girlfriend? Or did I just see Polish player Yoru farming and just think it was Kayak's girlfriend? I'm wrong? Okay, I'm wrong. Never mind. Thank you, Chobra. Thank you for the thank you for the raid. What's Pop Nemo? What is Pop Nemo? That's a good amount. Okay, I should be going though. I should be going. What is meat shake? I haven't seen the meat shake thing. I saw it referenced on Reddit or something. Meat shake. Has he done APAC? No. I gotta finish China. And then I gotta go underground for a little bit. They uptick. Oh, I played in your games. I'm an asshole in rank, so I apologize. A Philly cheesesteak but shaked. Yeah, that combines my least favorite idea with probably my most favorite idea, I think. Okay. It's got potential. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so I think that I'm probably avoiding meat shakes in the first place. But milkshakes were mine and Boaster's way of celebrating wins because we're just a couple of fucking losers. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian. Yinsu's watching GC, so let's raid Yinsu. Milk is not. Milk is vegetarian. But also, if I could, I would have substitute milk. But NT Sufi. Okay, right. I'm raiding Yinsu. Let's go watch some GC. Do we have stream tomorrow? Yes, we'll have more chances of watching China. Catch you guys in a bit.